In this video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide to create a professional landing page using Elementor Pro. You will be able to follow the basics even if you just use Elementor free. But of course, most of the advanced stuff like animations, custom code, opt-in form, advanced configuration, you will be able to do that only if you're using Elementor Pro. I'm going to show you the step-by-step process, starting from choosing your hosting and domain, to installing WordPress, Elementor Pro, and the basic Hello Elementor theme, and then we will start designing the page. I will show you how you can create easily a good structure using Elementor containers and adding all the elements that are needed in a professional landing page, like of course the hero section with the opt-in, the benefits section illustrating all the benefits of subscribing to your opt-in, and highlighting some features about your lead magnet or your product. I'll then show you how you can professionally design your landing page and how you can easily change fonts and colors to adapt the design that I'm going to show you in the tutorial to your own needs. At the end of the video, you're going to have a professional landing page ready to receive a lot of traffic and convert your visitors into leads and then customers. This is a great service that you can offer to your clients or that you can use for your own business. And now let's start this tutorial on how to create a landing page with Elementor Pro. 3, 2, 1, let's go! Before we jump in, a quick shout out to AnalyticsWP, the sponsor of this video. It's a WordPress native analytics plugin that runs entirely inside your dashboard. It is a perfect alternative to Google Analytics. You will get clean, real-time reports, detailed user journeys across devices, and conversion tracking, perfect for landing pages or WooCommerce websites, thanks to the dedicated integration. And if you're using Elementor Pro, AnalyticsWP integrates beautifully. You can track form submissions and conversions directly in your WordPress dashboard. AnalyticsWP is fast, lightweight, and ready to use right after activation. It has an affordable lifetime license that you can use to pay once and access updates and support forever. But if you prefer, you can even try it for free for 7 days, no credit card required. By the way, if you check in the description box below, I will also offer an exclusive 10% off coupon only for my YouTube viewers. You find all the details and the link in the description below. Thanks to AnalyticsWP for supporting the channel, and now let's build that landing page together. Now you can head to my affiliate link down below, which is wproads.com/hostinger, and when you click on this link, you will land on this Hostinger page where you can buy your hosting plan to install WordPress and Elementor and then start configuring your landing page. Here you can click on Claim Deal. Alright, and you will see that you have different plans that you can use if you want to create your account on Hostinger. For creating a landing page, the premium plan is perfect, even if it's just a basic plan with some basic features. You still get a free domain for the first year. As you can see here, you can create up to 3 websites in the same plan. You have a lot of storage if you want, and you even get 2 mailboxes per website for free for the first year. If you prefer starting with the business plan, it is better because you have daily backups included, and this is very important if you want to have your website saved automatically for you each and every day. So in case anything goes wrong, you can easily restore your website in one click. And then you will have space to create up to 50 websites and 50 gigabytes of NVMe storage. This means that your website will load very fast. You even got 5 mailboxes per website for free for the first year. So choose your plan, and of course you can always upgrade or downgrade your plans when you want right inside your dashboard. And there is also a 30 days money-back guarantee, so you can just test it out and feel free to do that without risk. Let's go and choose the premium plan, for example. And here you will be able to switch the billing period. If you want, you can pay upfront for 48 months and you will have a huge discount. As you can see here, I'm going to pay less than $120 for 4 years of premium hosting. This is awesome. But if you prefer, you can also just go with 12 months, 1 year, and you still will have a great discount. In fact, here we're just paying $35 for the first year, and you will still get a free domain for the first year in this order. Great, right? Not only that, if you insert my coupon code here, WPRoads, and you apply, 3, 2, 1, you will have a huge discount because you will save even more, $32, and we're going to have 1 year of premium hosting at Hostinger. If you're satisfied with your selection here, you can continue. You can create an account here. Then you will be able to fill your billing address, first name, last name, country of residence, and this is actually the only mandatory field. But if you're buying as a business, I encourage you to fill all the form here. And if you want, you can also add your company details if you need to do so. If you're buying from Europe, you can also insert here your VAT number. Then when you're okay, you can click on continue and you can choose your payment method. I remind you that there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can just easily test this risk-free, and if you're not satisfied, you can also ask for a refund. But I assure you that this is such a high-level service that you will be very satisfied about it. You can choose to pay by card here, or by PayPal, Google Pay, Apple Pay, or even Alipay Plus or CoinGate. So choose your preferred payment method and then click on Submit Payment. You will just need to verify your payment, and then you will access your account. When you finish the purchase process, you will see a screen like this one. And if you don't see the screen like this one, you will just be able to log into your website, into your Hostinger panel in this case, and you will be able to go to websites here, and you will see here your purchased plan. In my case, for example, the business web hosting, and you can click on Add Website. When you click on Add Website, you can select WordPress, and then you can install WordPress in a very easy way, step by step. Here you can choose the credentials for your WordPress account. You can choose the language. You can even switch the language later. By the way, you can also change the language here of the panel if you need to do so. And you can choose the administration email for accessing your WordPress website. And you can choose to create an administrator password to access your website. In my case, I have created all my credentials and I click on Next. All right, here I can choose if I want to create my website using AI or a pre-built website and themes. In my case, I'll just create a blank one. So just go here and click Create Blank Site. It's going to be easy and fun. Here you have a free domain for the first year, as I was mentioning to you at the beginning of this video. If you want, you can claim it immediately just by typing here the name of the domain that you want to buy for free for the first year. Let's say, for example, my awesome landing page.com, and if the domain is free, you will see that it is available. In this case, you see that this is not free. If it says, do you own this domain, use it, it means that it is not free, of course, unless you own it into another hosting or domain provider. But you can change the extension if you prefer and see if it is available. In this case, for example, this extension would not be free for the first year, but you will be saving 53%. So this is cool also. Let's change the name. This, for example, is free, mygreatlandingpage.com, and you can purchase for free for the first year. And you also see here the renewal price after the first year. In my case, I'm not yet ready to purchase a new domain, so I will just use a temporary domain. And you can do that too if you're not yet sure about your domain. So let's use a temporary domain. You can always claim and connect your domain later in the backend. It's very easy. Now let's wait a few minutes, and we're going to install WordPress into a temporary domain. And we're going to be able to install Elementor and then create our beautiful and effective landing page. All right, now we've finished installing our website, and as you can see, this is the dashboard. And now from this dashboard, we can go and do all the basics. For example, we can go on plugins, and if you see that there are some plugins that need to be updated, please go and do that. Update now. In this case, Hostinger AI plugin is going to be updated. All right, as soon as this is finished, we can go and click on Add Plugin. So we click here on Add Plugin, and we're going to type here Elementor. We're going to start with the free version, and then we're going to install also the premium version. If you already have all this installed on your website, you can easily skip this part of the video and go immediately where I show you how to start by creating your landing page from scratch. All right, I'm going to install Elementor here. It's going to take a few seconds. We can then activate the free version of Elementor. All right, we can click on the X icon here and close the screen. So this is going to be our WordPress dashboard, and let's clean up things a little bit here. So we go to the screen options to the top right here, and we can just clean up all the widgets. Okay. If you want, you can also change your name and profile here on your profile, basically, and you can even ask Kodee. Kodee, it's a great helper, and it is an AI assistant, an MCP plugin for you. And this, you can grant permission, basically, and it will be able to manage your website, doing basic stuff like creating pages or adding stuff to your website and so on, or even just asking questions about how to manage your WordPress website. And in this case, I will ask, for example, please change my name and last name in my profile to Pascal Claro, and also use them as a display name. All right, as you can see here, now I have my email, but I want to do this change, and if I ask this to Kodee, it's going to be able to do that in a few seconds. and we're just going to reload the page, and we're going to see here that this is going to be changed. So basically, if you need to manage something at a WordPress level, it will be very easy to do that just by using Kodee. As you can see here, everything has been updated. I can reload the page, and I will see that here I have my first name and last name used on my profile. This is just a small example, but you can use Kodee for many other different tasks. And now I'm going to install my new theme, which is Hello Elementor. It's the perfect theme to work with Elementor, and it is free. So let's go and do that together. Let's ask Kodee if it can install themes. I don't think so, but I just ask. I can install and activate themes that are available in your WordPress environment, but Hello Elementor is not currently listed among your installed themes. Okay, so it cannot connect to the appearance and themes. Let's go and do that. Appearance, themes, add theme. By the way, Kodee is going to become more and more powerful in the next months, so be sure to ask from time to time what it can perform, because it's going to be surprising, the power of this little tiny chat box called Kodee. Now I have installed Hello Elementor. If you do not find it there, you can just type Hello Elementor here, and you can go and see it. It is going to be this one, the first one. And let's install this version of Hello Elementor. Perfect. Great. In my case, I have already installed it. And when you have installed it, you can click on Activate. Okay, and then you can get rid of all the other themes. So let's go and select them and delete them, all the others. We do not need them, actually. We click on Delete and we click on OK. Delete, OK. Great. Now let's go to WordPress settings here. We go to the General tab and we see that we can change the name of our website. In our case, we're going just to use it for a landing page, but in your case, maybe you want to create also a blog or something else. Just be sure here to use the name of your website. All right. You can also use a tagline. And then you can assign a site icon. You can here do not change nothing. Here you can change the administration email for your website. Here you can set up the time zone. In my case, I'm in Paris, so I will select Paris. You can change the date and time format, and the week starts on Monday. Save changes. You can now go and set the permalinks. Permalinks, make sure to keep them on post name. Sometimes it can happen that you have different settings here, but be sure to select post name and then save changes. Then we can go to our pages and we can get rid of all the pages that we do not need. For example, we can select them and here we can move them to trash. Okay, let's apply. Then we can go to the trash and we can empty the trash so that we can start clean. Then we can go to posts and we can do the same here by trashing the Hello World post. We can go to trash and empty the trash. All right. Let's go back to our dashboard, and now let's go to my affiliate link. If you do not have Elementor Pro, you just need to type wproads.com/elepro, my affiliate link, wproads.com/elepro, and then when you are on this page, you can choose your Elementor Pro license. This is going to give you access to the Elementor Pro opt-in form, for example, and to many other widgets and solutions, including custom code and CSS, that we're going to use in this tutorial to elevate the design and features of your landing pages. So let's click on Buy Now. If you do not yet have a license, you can choose if you want a different billing cycle and if you want to save more. For example, if you pay 3 years in advance, you will save 17%. But if you just want to pay it for the first year, you can do that. Let's continue to the checkout. Here you will be able to create your account. In my case, I'm already signed in. You can confirm your plan. Then you can enter your billing address. And you can then choose your payment method, credit card or PayPal. Then when you click on Pay Now, you will finalize the purchase and you will be able to log into your Elementor account and to download your Elementor Pro, clicking on the top right part of the screen and clicking on the Elementor Pro license that you just bought. In my case, I bought Elementor Pro Expert and I can easily click and download. I'll go back to my website. I'll go to plugins, add plugin. I will upload plugin and I will drag and drop here my Elementor Pro file. Install now. So now basically we have Elementor Free, Elementor Pro, and the free Hello Elementor theme ready to be configured to create our landing pages. We click on Activate Plugin. Okay, we can get rid of all these messages, and then we can connect our Elementor Pro license. All right, and click on Connect and Activate. If you do not want to share anonymous data, you can also unlink this and connect and activate. Great, my license is now active and I can use Elementor Pro in this website. Let's go now to the Elementor settings and make sure to disable default colors and disable default fonts. All right, let's save changes. This is very important. Then we go into the advanced tab here and we simply go to Google Fonts. We enable them, and you make sure also to enable here the unfiltered file uploads if you need to upload some SVG or JSON files into your landing page. Then we can go and save changes. All right. Let's go now to the performance tab. This is very important. We scroll down until we find load Google Fonts locally, and we simply enable this. It is very important because like this, Google Fonts will be loaded locally, and the website will benefit from faster performance and ensure GDPR compliance. So this is very important. Save changes. Okay, now we can go on Hello here, settings. And we can decide, for example, to change the structure and layout. I always like to start with a blank page, so I disable header and footer, and I also disable the page title. All right. Now that we are ready, if we go and visit our website, we will see a blank page, which is exactly the good starting point that we want. Now we go back to the dashboard and we will ask Kodee to create a new page called landing page. All right, let's see if it is going to perform this task. It is an easy task, but as I was mentioning, in the next months, this is going to become more and more powerful. It says that the page has been created and it is in draft status, so we can go here and visit the page. We see nothing because it's empty right now, but we can click on edit page actually, and we can see that this page has a title, which is landing page, exactly as we asked it. And if we go and click here on the WordPress logo, we'll see that this page has been created into our pages list. Pages, all pages. Landing page, great. In your case, of course, use some SEO related keywords about the services that you're going to promote in this landing page, about the content of this landing page. You can also decide to hide this landing page from search engines by using a plugin like Rank Math, for example, and decide to put this page on no index, for example. Okay, in my case, I will just keep it indexed. Okay, I'm going now first thing into the page settings that are here, and in the new version of Elementor, they will be here. So just be careful. If you do not find it here, you will find the page settings here. And then we can go here and enable Elementor Canvas. So once we are in the page settings, we can enable Elementor Canvas. Elementor Canvas is perfect because as you can see, it removes the header and the footer. So we are sure just to have our page with only the content that we need to show, which is going to be all the content of our landing page. So everything we need to collect leads or promote the launch of a new product or promote anything we need to focus the attention of our customers into. Now you can head to the link that you will find in the description box below, which will bring you to this page, Elementor landing page free resources. I suggest you to subscribe here for free. It is all free. And it is the result of many hours of work by myself. And so, yes, if you want to access all these resources, you'll just need to subscribe to my newsletter, where I send you content about WordPress tutorials, courses, and plugins each and every week. So it's something that I think that you might be interested in. And of course, no pressure, you can unsubscribe at any time. You can write your name here using a capital letter because I will use this also to customize your experience when I'm going to send you some newsletters. And here you can use your favorite email address to access here and subscribe to my newsletter. When you click on subscribe and access now, you will land on the resources page, Elementor landing page resources. Here you find my important links, which are also your important links. If you want, you can buy Hostinger. If you didn't do that in the previous steps, you can have a second thought here and you can simply click on this link, which is my personal affiliate link. So thank you in advance if you want to use it. And you can use WP Road's coupon at checkout to have a huge discount. Then you can decide to buy Elementor using my affiliate links if you need to upgrade your license, for example. You can also activate your Elementor AI subscription by clicking on this link. Elementor AI is pretty powerful and it allows you to have an AI agent right inside Elementor. And here you can also click and get AnalyticsWP, which is the sponsor also of this video. Using AnalyticsWP, you can track all the visits that you will receive on your landing page, and you will have also this Pascal 10% off coupon if you want to buy. It is also a lifetime value, so this is very, very interesting as a deal. Then you have my Drive folder that you can access when you want to, if you want to use the same images and icons that I'm using through the tutorial. This is pretty cool because you have all the assets in case you want to follow step by step. And then here you have some useful websites. Sometimes I also update this content, so make sure to check them out. Here you can head to this website to create your own color palette. Here you can head to this website to create fluid typography and fluid spacing. It is a huge resource, this one. I really like this one. And it will allow you to create fluid spacing and fluid typography. This is, we're going to use it throughout the website creation, the landing page creation. And it is going to be very, very useful. Then let's go back here. You will see also tinypng.com, which is the website that I use myself to compress images before uploading them to my website. And this will grant your website pages, in this case our landing page, to load fast and to be performant. Down here you have all the code snippets that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to show you how you can use them throughout the tutorial. These are very simple code snippets. They are mostly CSS code snippets and JavaScript code snippets that you can simply copy and paste into your page. These are going to work fine if you're using Elementor, and I'm going to show you how you can copy and paste them inside your page to activate all the advanced effects, like for example the glassmorphism effect that we have on our landing page into this optin box, for example. Or the same that we have also down below when we describe all the benefits of our lead magnets. And you can simply access this element by copying and pasting this code. We have also the WPR highlight background, which is the effect that I have in my opt-in here into the sentence. Basically, when I reload the page and I wait 3 seconds, I'm going to see here an highlight effect background like this. And I'm going to show you how you can create that one too. And I'm going to show you also how you can apply a glow effect to your buttons, like if they were in a neon, stuff. You see, this is pretty cool. I really like it. Then I'm going to show you also the shimmer effect, the lighting that goes in the background in your button, as you can see right now. And all this is going to be achievable using this simple code snippets. We're also going to apply a marquee effect, which is the one that we have at the top here when we see all these elements scrolling like a train. And I will show you how you can apply that one. And some other cool little effects like the one that we see here, the confetti animation that we have on the confirmation page, and also here the selector to apply a gradient behind our icons. For example, into the marquee effect here, you see there is this gradient effect. I'm going to show you how you can apply it throughout the whole page. And as I was mentioning here, we have also a special effect when we subscribe and we get started here. We will have an animation here on the confirmation page, which will be like this. Loading your surprise, and then boom, confetti explosion. And then you will be able, of course, to customize everything. I will show you, in fact, how you can go from this landing page that we have here to achieve something completely different, like, for example, this design here that changes. Here you can also change fonts. In this case, I have left the same one, but you see, you can achieve a completely different result just by following the steps that I will show you in this video. So yeah, if you're ready, let's get started. Go ahead and subscribe to my free resources and keep this page saved in your browser, and let's dive in. So this is our starting point. Right, beautiful. It is a blank page inside the Elementor builder. Let's place the structure panel here that you can open or close using this icon to the right, actually. Okay. And I also guess that they are going to move a lot of these icons here differently in the next versions of Elementor. So don't feel afraid if you do not find, for example, the structure panel right here. It might be here on the top right. And if you do not find the page settings right here, they might be placed here on the left. Anyway, this is just the introduction. Let's get started. Here you find the central part of the page that we're going to use to construct our landing page, and let's start building. The first block is going to be a Flexbox container. As you can see here, I can select it. I can use from top to bottom because this is the direction that I want to give to the elements inside my Flexbox container. So this is going to be my first Flexbox container. I can go ahead here and create some and place some elements inside here. The first one is going to be a heading, actually, that we're going to use to place our sentence, like this one, a powerful landing page, okay? And let's go ahead now and add some more content. We're going to add here, for example, another container. And inside this container, we will create actually our opt-in. The opt-in is available when you're using Elementor Pro. In fact, if you go here and you type form, you will have your form element. That is going to be the element that we're going to use to collect our leads. So this is very, very important. Let's get rid of this. Let's also hide the labels, since we're going to keep this all minimalistic and yeah, pretty cool. And we can also go to the first element here, which is the name. We can place it 33% length. We can go and make sure that this is going to be required if we want to do so in your strategy, of course. We can give a name to the form if you want, opt-in form. Yeah, you can call it as you want. And down here, we can also do the same for the email. Make sure that this is going to be required. Make sure that this is going to be 33% if you want to achieve the same design that I'm going to show you in the tutorial. And let's get rid of this. Let's change the input size to be large in this case. And let's go ahead with the button styling here. Here we can change the submit sentence to be get started. All right, and then we're going to make this button not small but large, and the column width, it should be also here 33%. Look at this, look at this, it is already beautiful. Now we can make sure to align the center to the middle, so we select the text area here, and we make sure to change here the H2 to H1, because this is going to be our main title, so it's going to be the H1 of the page. Remember also that each page should have only one H1, which is the main title of the page. This is very important also for SEO settings. We go then to the style tab here and we align the text to the center, and we make sure also to select our first container. By the way, you can also double click here and rename all your containers. This one, I'm going to call it hero section, and I'm going to go to the layout in this container, and I'm going to make sure that all the items that are contained in this container are going to be aligned to the center. So I go to align items center. Okay, so now everything starts to be shaped into our first container, and let's see if we have to add something else. I don't think so, because we have just everything we need. We have the first, oh yes, actually we need to add two sentences, this one and this one here. So let's do that. We're going to add those sentences inside the container that contains now the opt-in. So let's do that. Okay, we click on the container that contains the opt-in, and we call it, for example, opt-in box, and we can insert inside here all the elements. We need a heading here, which is going to be here at the top. We're going to leave it on H2 or a paragraph, as you prefer. Yeah, it doesn't matter right now. And we can go to the style tab and align this to the center. Okay. We also make sure here to make this element here occupy only the space that it needs. So we go to the advanced tab and we also make align self center. We see the difference here. It will just occupy the space that it needs. And this is very important for the next effect that we want to apply, which is going to be the background effect here that you can see right now. All right. By the way, this is the style number 2, but we're going to start by creating the style number 1, which is this one here, the pink one, which I really love. And you're going to be able to, achieve the same results just by following my step-by-step guide. So this is the sentence. We can duplicate it by clicking on the mouse here and clicking on duplicate, or just by going Command D or Control D. And we can place this element below. So we have one element above and one element below. Let's make sure also that into this container, the opt-in box, all the elements will be aligned to the center. Okay, no, this is not going to work. Forget about it. Okay, just keep it like this. And right now we are ready to go on. In this case, the second sentence here is not going to be an H2, but since this is going to be just an informative text about, for example, my privacy policy or some other stuff about my opt-in, I can use a simple paragraph here. So let's go here and select paragraph. If you want to get rid of this annoying notices, you can just click on the X icon and we can go and publish our page. Or if you prefer, you can save this as a draft, as you wish. When you want to have a preview of your changes, you can either go here and select this, which is useful because you can also preview this from tablet and mobile very easily, like this. Or you can simply go and click on the eye icon and it will show you the landing page result into another window, like this. All right, so the basic structure is there, and we're going to transform it like this in a few minutes. But now, before going on, let's just create the whole structure of the page before going to the design part. So now this is the structure part, and in the second part, we're going to the design part. Let's go on with the structure. So Now that your first section is in place, so we have the hero, opt-in box, and all the elements right in place there, we're ready to create the second section, the one that will contain our marquee effect, this one. And it's going to be quite complex, not difficult, but you need to follow step by step. So at the moment, we're just going to create the basic structure. And to do that, we just need to add a flexbox container. It's going to be from top to bottom, and we're going to give it a name. In this case, we're going to call this Marquee, like this. Okay, so we create this container and we call it Marquee. We're going to come back here later. So at the moment, we just leave it like this. And yeah, that's it. We just leave it like this because it's going to be, yeah, a step-by-step part, very important to follow, yeah, carefully. Now let's go on by creating the third section, which is going to be a special call to action with some rotating elements and scrolling animations. It's going to be this one, you see? The huge call to action that we're going to use here to convince our users to go immediately and subscribe to our opt-in. All right, let's create this one. We're going to call it CTA number 1, and it's going to be another flexbox container from top to bottom. All right, and let's call it CTA 1. All right, inside here we can just structure the elements like this. We can click on the plus icon and we can add an heading, which is going to be the main heading, and it's going to be an H2, perfect, is the main heading of this call to action. We're going to style it to the center, all right, and we're going also to add an image. Okay, all right, we do not need to fill this image immediately, but we just need to change here the dimension of this image. We're going to use a medium large one, and it's going to be also with a style of a maximum width pixels in about 700 pixels. Let me check if this is going to work fine. I think so, yes, perfect. And let's go on now by adding a few more elements. We're going to use a container here to add all the icons that we're going to use to animate them around the image. And let's place inside here all the icons. All right, we have the icon widget here that we can drag and drop here. And we can simply go and make it framed like this, and we duplicate it. Okay, duplicate. Okay, so that we have 3 icons. We can down select the container here, and we can make it from row horizontal, and we can align all the items justified to the center. We're going to call this container rotating icons. It's always a best practice to give a name to your main containers so that you recognize them when you work with a lot of containers inside a page. And then we can go down below and add another element. In my case, it's going to be a simple heading. All right. If it is pasting your heading just beside the icons, just drag and drop the heading away, for example, here, and then we can just paste the rotating, just replace the rotation icons above the heading. You see here, this is very useful. Also, the structure panel here. The heading here is going to be no more an H2, but just a simple paragraph, and it's going to be styled to the center like this. We're going to use this to create a call to action like this one, for example. And if you want, you can also have the place to create another call to action, a second one. And let's do that. We're going just to duplicate this one like this. All right. Then we're going to style it later, of course. Here we have the position to create a button, the first call to action that we have when we scroll down into our landing page. As we can see, you might see your style differently. Don't worry, we're going to style everything together in a few minutes. So just place the button to the center, all right? And let's keep it like this. At the moment, we have all the elements, the first header, the image, the rotating icons, then we have 2 paragraph, and then we have our button. So this is all necessary to create this kind of section here. All right, we're going to do it step by step. Then we need to create a new section, which is going to be a grid section containing some features about our product. This works very well in many different scenarios. If you're promoting a lead magnet or a product or a service or whatever you're using this landing page for, you can even add this landing page as a home page in a website if you want. And let's create this structure here. We're just going to click on the plus icon. We're going to use this time a grid, and this is going to be a simple grid in 2 columns, and it's going to be also 2 rows. You see here, so I will add 2 rows, 2 columns and 2 rows. In the first column, we're going to add a container inside, and inside this first container, we're going to add some elements. The first element is going to be a heading. Then we're going to have a second heading, which is going to be actually just a simple paragraph. And then we're going to add here a text editor so that we can write some stuff about our product, some elements about our product, some descriptions. On the right, we're going to add another container. Okay, and to this container, we're going to add a background image. So this container here is going to be a background image in the style tab. We're going to enable here the classic background type, and we're going to choose an image. In this case, we're just going to leave it like this because we're going to add images later when we're going to design everything. So let's keep it like this. Here, we're going to duplicate the first container. All right, and we're going to place it at the end right here. Oh, yeah, if it doesn't work, it means that we need to go and place it here. Okay, now it's good. And we just need to invert this and place it here. If it doesn't work, it means that we need to create another container here. Let's do that. And now it is cool and right, but we just need to place this. Let me see if it is going to work. Actually, yes, now it's correct. So let me rename all those containers so that I can just know what it's all about. I will call this grid just, let me say, features, for example, features about our service, product, lead magnets, and so on. And the containers, the first one is going to be text 1, image 1. The second container is going to be just image 1. And then I'm going to have text 2, image 2 and text 2. All right, so now I will be well organized. You see? So if you start working like this, everything will become very easy to update and change in the future. So this is very cool. And you can even, if you create a good layout like this, you can even reuse it across your website to promote different stuff, to promote different landing pages, even to apply this to home pages or to any kind of page you want to highlight on your website. All right, so we have the section here in place, the feature section, which is already, let me close here all the different sections so that everything is going to look a little bit better. We got the hero, the marquee, the CTA number 1, and the features section. Now we're going to proceed by creating, the final, not the final, but almost the final section, because we're going to have also another CTA down here. And this one is going to be about maybe some benefits or some strength points about your opt-in, about your lead magnet, about your service or product. And it's going to be a beautiful section using, in this case, also a grid. So I'm going to use another grid here. It's going to be a 4 grid. Okay, so the same structure of the first one, actually. Yeah, it's going to be 2 columns. All right, and we're going to assign inside here some elements. In this case, they will all be containers. Let's create the first one, and then we were going to duplicate it. The first container, it will contain just an icon here. Then it will contain, it's going to be a stacked icon, no, a framed one, actually. Then it will contain a heading, and then it will contain also text editor, or maybe just another heading. It's going to be a paragraph, this one. We're going to change it and switch it here to paragraph. We can change this heading to be an H3, actually, and we can align this icon to the right, style align left, sorry, not to the right, but to the left. Okay, so this is going to be the container. We're going to duplicate it, and we're going to give it a name, actually. It's going to be, let's call them benefits. Okay, and we're going to call this benefits. Okay, benefit card 1. Then we're going to duplicate this. Actually, you can go and duplicate it here, or you can just duplicate it from here. You can choose. I'm going to duplicate it from here, duplicate, and duplicate. I'm going to use different numbers here just to make sure I will be able to recall what I'm doing here. So number 3 and number 4. So everything is going to be well organized. Perfect. So this is going to be the, how do you say, pre-final section. And now we're ready to create the final section. Flexbox from top to bottom. This one is going to be very easy. We're going to just have a heading on H2. Okay, we can keep it on H2. We can align to the center, and then we're going to have here a button. So let's go button, and let's align the button to the center. All right, so we have everything in place now. We can publish the page and have a preview. Let's just call this CTA number 2. Okay, let's close all the different sections. Let's publish, and let's have a preview with the eye. Preview changes. Okay, so this is the structure. You see, we have the hero section. We have the marquee that it is not visible right now. We have the first call to action, highlighting even here's just some cool features with those 2 paragraphs. Then we have our features section. that will be used to highlight some features about our service, products, or lead magnet. And then we have our benefits or some other stuff that you can use to highlight other features of your product or lead magnet. And then the last call to action down here. Okay, so this is the structure of the page, you see? And now let's go on with the design part. We're going to start now with the hero section. You can choose if you want to, start with this image here, with this other image, or if you already have your own image that you want to use in your design, and just go ahead and follow the steps that I'm doing, just using your own image and your own assets. If you have subscribed to my free resources at the beginning of the video, you will see that there is this link to the Drive folder that you can use to access the same resources that I will use during the video. For example, here we have the images. Let me check here like this. We have the headphones, the lady here, and also here the mug. Let's go and get started with the mug here. All right, let's download this. If you want, you can start with this one. You can choose whatever you want, or as I was mentioning, with your own images. Okay, now my image is here and it has been downloaded. I can go to the first section, to the hero section, and I can apply this as a background. Let's go and do that. Style, I enable the background type classic, and I go here and select my image. All right. I upload my file. If you want, you can also compress this image using TinyPNG. I invite you to do so. And then here you can also use an alt text to describe the purpose of this image. Now let's select this image, all right? And it's gonna be ready here. You can change also the image resolution if you want to do so. And you can also install, this one we do not want to show it. We can change the image resolution, for example, to be, I will leave it on full because actually here I want it to be quite large because it's a huge background image. And I want also to position this image to the center. So I will go center, okay? And I also need, in my case, to make the attachment fixed. And this is gonna look very nice. You will see the final result. And I'm going also to change here the repeat. I'm making no repeat, and the display size is gonna be cover. All right, so it's gonna work like this. Now, to be able to see a huge part of the image, or even just the whole image, I need to select my hero section here, and I need to go ahead and place minimum height to the layout, actually. So we go to the layout here, we go and work with the minimum height now. We select as a unit here, VH, and we select 100. Okay. This is going to work very well, you see? So the image is all visible. Now, in order to align correctly all the elements to the center of the page and to achieve this kind of alignment, we can just go ahead and select the container here, so the main container, and in the layout, we can align and justify everything to the center. Just by doing this, you see that all the content will be justified correctly to the center. Now we can publish it. If you want, you can also have a quick preview of what you are doing. And look, it is already working very well, you see. And of course, there are still a little bit of road before going here, but we're going to do it. The WP road. Okay, let's go on. We can now start styling the text, the first text here. And let's do it by changing fonts. Before doing that, make sure that you just followed correctly my instructions at the beginning of the video. When you go here on Elementor settings, you will see that in the performance part, you have a setting dedicated to Google Fonts. Make sure to enable load Google Fonts locally. This is very important for performance and for GDPR. So do that. And also in the advanced tab, make sure to enable Google Fonts totally. You see, enable Google Fonts. Great. So let's go and do that together. We're going to assign here our favorite Google font just by clicking on the element here, going to the typography here, and just searching for our favorite Google font. In my case, I love Space Grotesque, so I will find Space Grotesque. In your case, just go ahead and find the font that fits your needs, your design needs, and then let's go ahead. Actually, I will use this same style of this font and also the same dimension for this element here and also for the second call to action that we have here. And I will simply copy and paste it. In my case, I'm not going to work here with global fonts because it is just a simple landing page with a few elements. So I'm going to keep them easy like this. I'm just going to work now with the sites, and I'm going to use here a special custom sites that is going to allow me to create some fluid values. This is very powerful and useful. Let me show you how this is going to work now when you want to add a fluid typography. We select the element here, we open up our free resources, and we scroll until we find Create Fluid Typography and Fluid Spacing under the Useful Websites section. All right. And here we can click on Type. When we click on Type, we can decide the minimum size and the maximum size of our text, and we can have a quick preview right here. In my case, the minimum size of my, of my stuff there, of my text, of my heading, is going to be around 80 pixels. And the maximum size is going to be a little bit less, let's say 100 pixels, maybe something more, 110 pixels. All right. You can have also a preview here of how this is going to behave on different devices. Actually, I can make it a little bit smaller also on the mobile stuff. We can go maybe 50 or 60, yes. 50 is gonna work fine. You see? It's gonna work like this. It's gonna scale fluidly like this. So this is gonna be my main text. I'm going to copy this formula here, this clamp formula, just clicking on copy here. And I'm going to paste it inside my custom value here. And this is pretty useful because and pretty also powerful. You just need to do it once. You do not need to assign it also to tablet and mobile and so on. You just need to do it once. Okay. Then we can go on by changing the weight and transform and style and whatever you want to change here regarding your text. In my case, I will also insert here my content so that I can preview it in a way that I will see the result, the final result. I invite you here also to use your text. It's going to be a powerful landing page. In my case, you just start typing your content inside here. And I'm also going to use it here. All right. Okay, so we have all our wording in place. And we can select now my main hero section and decide to give it a custom width. We do not want it to be spread like this, but we want it to be centered exactly like we have it here. And let's do that. It's going to be just here in pixels, and we're going to use, let's say, 120, all right? And in my case, it works very well, 120. A powerful landing page. We have also a preview here. So no matter of the size of our screen, it's going to be stacked into 150 to the middle of the page like this. It's going to work and look very well, you see? Okay. Let's now apply the glow effect to the first element here, to the first text. It's going to be applied now in a very simple way just by using Elementor features. And it's going to be text stroke, the first one. We're going to use here a text stroke of 2 pixels, and it's going to be white. So let's select here a white color. Okay. Then we're going to have a text shadow, which is going to be a color white. All right. And it's going to be a little bit more present. Okay, let's try to do it like this. Okay, you see the neon effect is going to take place. And you can also assign here a color. Speaking about colors, let's open up now session dedicated to colors. When you click on the color here, you see that you have this color sampler icon, which is very interesting and powerful. And you can use it to capture the colors of your images. This is going to work very well in landing pages where maybe you do not want to use the same color palette that you have on the main website, for example, but you want to be, yes, in brand with the image and maybe also with your logo and stuff like that. So in my case, I will pick the colors from the image, assuming also that you're maybe using a logo that is in the same tonality, you see. In my case, you see here, I have all those colors here that are being taken from the image. And as you can see, they create immediately a beautiful and professional look and feel for our landing page, you see. Yeah, because colors and pictures and images are pretty powerful together with shapes, of course, when regarding web design. Let's choose, in my case, this color here, okay? Let me check if this is the same that we have here. Yes, it is exactly the same. And we can also make the text a little bit more pump it up by enabling here also a bold weight. All right, it is beautiful like this. Now, what if I want to reuse the same colors and keep consistent design throughout the website? I can simply go and save them as global colors. For example, when I sample this color here, I can create a new global color and I can call it, in my case, landing page style or landing page color or whatever you want. And then I can assign it a name, LPS in my case, landing page style, and I will call it this purple, for example, or just main accent or whatever you want. Let's say accent 1. It's going to be my first accent color, create. Then I'm going to do the same now with other elements. For example, the button here and the hover color on the buttons and so on. Let's go and do that. Let's work now on our opt-in. Okay. And we're going to actually create a dark color, which is going to be used for our text, our dark text, and also for our buttons. The same that we have here. Okay. In my case, I will pick it from my existing landing page. Okay, it's gonna be this color here. I really like it. Okay, and I'm going to assign it to text and to buttons on my page. And let's go and do that. It's gonna be here. So I select my opt-in, I go to Style tab, and I change now my button. My button style is gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna have a background color using this specific color that I have just copied, which is a black color. And I'm going to create it as a global color. And since I'm working only with the styling of my landing page and I do not want to mess around with all the other global colors that I have in my Elementor website, in this case, I'm going to create all this style by providing this suffix and LPS and then calling them, for example, buttons and text. All right. Perfect. Or any, or just dark color, dark one. Create. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the same also for my hover. I'm going to use a pink color for my hover. So I'm going to use a different background color. I'm going to sample it from my image. It's going to be this one, for example. Let's say this one. Yeah. See, this is going to work like this. I like it. And actually, I have also another pink here when I sample, which is a little bit stronger, which is this one. And I like it better. Yeah, it's going to be better, this one. Okay, let's go and do that. And let's save it as a global color too. LPS is going to be accent 2. And let's create this one too. All right, global color created. Now here, instead of having white, I want the text to use my accent dark so that when I hover here, it's going to be like this. It's going to look very nice, beautiful. Let's go and publish to save our work. And let's finish this first part by assigning also our color to the text here. So we go to the text style and we're going to assign the same global color, the dark one. And we're going to do the same here also to the sentence down here. Style color is going to be the same global dark number 1. Okay, publish. All right. Okay, now I'm going to fine tune my text here and all the elements of my hero section. Let's go and do that. I'm going to change here the typography to be also my space grotesque. So I'm going to use the same. Of course, if you need to use the same design settings that you have on your main website, feel free, of course, to add your custom global settings, for example, as I also mentioned how to do that in my full tutorial where I explain to you how to create a design system in Elementor. I will link it to you in the description box below. And here I can also go and change here my settings. All right. I will keep it like this. Perfect. Let's go back to our opt-in. I see that there is a little bit of a discrepancy you see between the different dimensioning of the button and of the inputs. And I think that this is due to the border radius, to the border width actually. So I'm going now to my style tab on the opt-in and I'm going to the buttons to check if I can manipulate my border. I will set the border type as solid and I will also place it at just 1 pixel. All right. And I'm going to change also the border color to be my main dark color so that also when I hover, I will keep the border like this. Then I will be able to change everything regarding typography. In my case, if I want, I can also assign a global typography to my buttons using the side settings. But since this is just a landing page, I'm going to edit this by hand. I'm going to change this to be a different size. In my case, I will use a smaller one in order to make the button have the same dimensioning of the rest of the elements. And let me check here, how can I grow? I would use maybe 18. I think that 17 in this case is the good one. We go on text padding and we make sure to have it on 0 too. All right. And if I want, I can even add an icon here to my button. So I can go back to the content, I can go to the buttons here, and I can see that I have the ability here to insert actually an icon by clicking here. And if you want, you can even learn how to upload some custom icon libraries, because of course here you have some icons which are good and they're working fine, but sometimes we need to change a little bit stuff and change and use different icons from the one that are provided for free by Elementor. So if you want to, I will leave you some icons on my folder here that you can use. You can download here this file, which is called line icons free, and you can upload it to your icon library. You just need to go back here, you go to upload, and you can click on add new icon set, and we will call this line icons free. And we can just drag and drop here the file that we just downloaded. All right, this is my zip file. All right, and this is my new icon set. All right, update. Okay, now when we go back to our landing page, we just need to close here, establish or save or publish the page. And then we just need to refresh the page in order to see our new icons available. All right. Okay, I'm going to click again on the opt-in. And when I go now to my buttons settings, I can click here and I can open up the icon. All right, and now I find here my new library of new line icons free, and I can type arrow, for example, and I will see all the arrows, and I will use this one in my case. But of course, there are many different icons there available for you. I will place this to the end. Let me space it a little bit. Really like it, and I can also increase the dimension of my icon. I believe so. If it, I don't know if it is possible. Let's go to our buttons here. Actually, there are no settings for the icon. Yeah, I will keep it like this. Okay, great. I can go on now by creating now my beautiful background effect, my Glassmorphism effect, by enabling a custom CSS. You will find the custom CSS to create this effect right inside my free resources. And let's scroll down. We see that this is the effect, Glassmorphism effect. Let's copy this code. And to keep things well organized, we're going to add this code directly to our page. So we're going here to the page settings. I repeat, the page settings might be changed in a few months right here on the left. And we select now the advanced tab. So we go to page settings, we select the advanced tab, and we paste here the custom CSS for the page. So this is going to work throughout the whole page. If you want to assign the same effect to other elements, you can do it easily by assigning a simple class. Let's go and do that. So we copy and paste the code inside here. And the class that we're going to use to assign this effect is this one, WPR glass, without the dot. We just copy the naming here. Okay. Once everything is in place, we can select our container and we can assign the class in the advanced tab. We go to the advanced tab, we scroll until we find CSS classes, and here we will just add the effect. Beautiful, right? You see, just a simple class. We're now having this effect enabled like this. Beautiful. And as I was mentioning, you can assign the same class whatever you want. For example, even to the text here, if you want, you go to the style, you go to the advanced, sorry, you go to CSS classes and you paste here your effect and it's going to be applied like this. You see? It's easy as that. And you can apply this effect throughout the whole page and apply it to whatever you want. In my case, I will just apply it to the opt-in box and I will also add some more spacing. So when I am here, all right, I will go and work with my padding. I will use a rem padding of 2 rem. Okay, so it's going to work very well. It's going to feel beautiful. And I'm also going to increase the spacing between the text here and the box. To do that, I have many different solutions. The most professional one is to go and work with the gutter. So we go and select the era section and we change here the gaps. We're going to use here rem. And we're going to use 2 rem. Let me check if this is going to work fine. We can also increase it to 3 rem, actually. All right, publish. And now when we have a preview of our first section, it's going to look gorgeous. You see? Now I'm going to explain to you a simple solution if you want to manage all the border radiuses in your page in a global way. Actually, I will leave them here for you if you want to copy and paste them. I have just added them here. Global variables and global classes. This is exactly what we're going to create right now. So if you want, you can simply copy and paste this inside your custom CSS. And I will show you now how you can create this from scratch in case you're interested. And now you can apply all this globally to your border radius, to all the elements on your design. But I will show you how you can write it from scratch. This is something you might be interested in if you want to get a little bit of freedom using CSS. Let me show you how this is going to work. I'm going to open up now here my custom CSS, my page settings, advanced, and I see here that I can simply make some space. I click enter, I go and enter, and I will comment this section. Let me zoom a little bit. I will comment this section like this. Tac, tac. I will go with variables, global variables, and I will close here like this. I will use this root, and I will open and close this, and I will go like this. So this is the syntax that you need to use if you want to write your variables. Feel free to skip this part if you're not interested, but if you're interested, it's going to be very handy and useful because it will allow you to change all the border radiuses throughout your landing page in just a one click. For example, you can easily go from this design to this design here in a few clicks, or yes, in just one click actually, because the border radius is going to be controlled globally. So you see, this border radius is going to be differently changed in just one setting, you see? So basically here, the same border radius that I am using in buttons, on images, and on cards like this is going to be updated in one click, and is going to be very easy to manage your design like this. If you want to do some tests, change something, and so on, you will be able to do that just by writing these few lines of CSS. So let's do that together. Variables are created like this. You go double dash and you give whatever name you want. In my case, it's going to be WPR global radius. Okay, and I will assign a value to this global radius. In my case, it's going to be 35 pixels. All right. Then we can go and create also a global class. This global class is going to be called WPR global radius. All right. And the value of this class is going to be just a border radius. So I'm going to say border radius 35 pixels. Sorry, not this is no interesting. It's going to be a variable. Actually, it's going to be this variable, so we can use it throughout the website. It's going to be var, open and close brackets, and inside here, I'm going to type my variable, which is this one, WPR global radius. So basically, when I'm using this class throughout the elements of my website, I'm going to apply this value, which is going to be controlled through this variable. Let me show you what this means in a practical way. It's pretty easy. Now we go, for example, to our container. No, yes, we see that we in the WPR glass CSS, we have this value, border radius, which is hard coded. It's 15 pixels. Let me use now my variable instead of using 15 pixels. I go and type here var. I will open my brackets and I will type inside here my WPR global radius. Look, it has been applied correctly, you see, instantaneously. It's very, very interesting. And if I decide to change my variable value here, let's say that I want 0, it's going to be updated instantaneously throughout the whole page where I'm using this variable. You kind of get the idea here, no? So I will go back to 35 now, and I will also use this variables inside now my form, for example. Let's go and paste now this var value here inside the opt-in form. All right, I'm going to the style tab, I'm going to the fields first, and I'm going to add a border radius using my custom values. Look, border radius, beautiful, right? I'm going to the buttons, I'm going now to border radius, custom value, and I'm going to paste inside here my variable. All right, of course, remember to write it with this syntax, var and the name of your variable between brackets, like this. All right. And it's going to be applied, to the button, you see, too. And now let me go back to the global CSS. If I decide to change this value, 0 is going to be assigned correctly throughout the whole website instantaneously. Let me go back here. 35 works fine. Okay. Now I will go on by assigning the same values also to other elements in my design, of course, so that you're going to see how we can work in a very smart way. Now I want to show you a simple effect that you can apply to this sentence here with a border with a background animated that will animate when you reload the page. For example, when you land on the page for the first time, you will see that there's going to be a background color here with a gradient showing up like this. How you can apply this is very easy. You just need to go to my free resources and you copy the highlight background animation on page load. You can copy it and then you go to your landing page. We go back to our page settings and custom CSS in the advanced tab, and we can scroll down to the bottom. We just type enter here. We space a little bit and we paste inside here our code. The class that we need right now is this one to enable this effect. And we're going to apply this class right here to this element. We go to the style, we go to the advanced tab and we paste the class here. And in a few seconds, we will see the background animate like this. All right, it is already working. We just need now to change the background color. Actually, we can go and clip it from the image right here in the background. Let's go and do that. We're going to the Style tab. We're going to clip now here. Sorry, here we are into our heading. We can actually go and do that from our, let's say here. We select our container, hero, okay? And we go to the Style tab. We enable, for example, a color here for the background, and we go and sample the colors background here. All right. In my case, I would like to use in the background there this color, this purple color here, and a white or maybe this color here. So let's do that. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to copy it. It's going to be this color here. And I'm going to paste it inside the code. So I go back to the page settings, advanced. I scroll down until I find the colors, which are here. You can use here global colors variables or your own colors if you want to. So for example, I will change this color here to be my color, my purple one. And I will also be sure to paste it correctly. And as you can see now, I have a gradient effect. Actually, I like it, so I will keep also this one as a secondary color. If you want, you can use the same color just by pasting twice the same color. Or if you prefer, you can have two colors and you can obtain this gradient effect. You see here. So for example, if here I decide to use another color, let's say white, which is FFF, like this, it's going to look like this. If I decide to go back with my other color, it's going to be like this. If you decide to change, it's going to be different. So yeah, just paste here the two colors that you want to use for your gradient. And if you want to have the same color, just paste the same color. Easy as that. Now I'm going to fine-tune my design here, and I'm going to change the style of my element here. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to go to the advanced tab and I'm going to add some padding, for example, 5 pixels of padding. I'm also going to unlink values and I'm going to use more padding on the right and on the left, 15. And I'm going to apply the same border radius that I'm using throughout the whole website. So I'm going to use a class, which is going to be pasted right beside this class here with a space. I'm going to use WPR, and this is going to be my global radius class, global radius. All right, you see that the global radius has been applied correctly. And now I can easily go and change the style if I want to this sentence. I want to make it a little bit smaller. So I will go, for example, 20 pixels or a little bit more, 25. It's very cool. Publish. Now, when I go and reload my page, I will see that the animation background will work like this. Beautiful, right? Now that my first section is okay, I can go and optimize it from mobile so that I'm sure that it's going to look like it's going to look well on different devices. From tablet, I quite like it, and from portrait mobile here, I like it. If you do not have it added to your Elementor website, I will suggest you to go to the site settings and enable also the laptop breakpoint. So when you go on layout here, you have a special breakpoint, which is down here into breakpoints, which is the laptop one here, you see? So make sure to enable it. I have just enabled it. I save my changes now. And when I will reload the page, I will see it here available. Let me check it out. All right, as you can see, there is this new viewport breakpoint here, which is the laptop one. And I can test if everything works well from laptop 2. All right, and I can even go and stretch here the dimension manually if I need to do that. And this is also quite useful in different cases. For example, let's go to tablet portrait here. And let's also try to stretch it a little bit. And actually, I think that this is going to work fine in on different devices. So let's go back to desktop. I just wanted to take a check here on mobile, and I really like it personally, so I do not want to change anything. In the eventuality that you want to change something, you can just go into each and every element and you can change the settings on the left. So just to make sure that this is going to be applied only on mobile, you can be sure of it just by checking the icon beside the setting. Let me show you a practical example. All right, you just select the item here, and you can go to the advanced tab. Here you can also decide to hide some elements if you want to. For example, you can go on responsive here, and you can hide on desktop, on laptop, on mobile, or on tablet. And in this case, I will keep everything as it is, and I will just change maybe something about my sentence here. I want to go to the style tab, and I want to change my font size when I am on mobile. So I open up here the settings, and the font size here on mobile is going to be a little bit smaller. Let me check 20 pixels. I really like it like this, and I will keep it like this. And when I go back now to tablet, it's going to be 25. All right, we can then publish. We can go and have a preview of our page now on responsive, and it's going to work very nice. Okay. Let's have a stretch here of the page. It's going to look perfect on each and every device, you see? Beautiful. Now to finish our first section, we're going to use some dividers, some shape dividers. So we select the first container, the hero section. We go to the style tab and we scroll until we find shape divider. All right. Here we're going to use a bottom shape divider, which is going to be a simple curve. All right. And we're going to flip it and we're going to make it invert for that. Okay. We can also change the width and the height, and in my case, I will keep it like this because I like it like this. Publish. All right, preview. And this is my final version of my hero section. As you can see now, there is also a fixed scrolling effect on my background because I have applied to my background image at the beginning of this part of the tutorial. In fact, if I go back to my hero section here and I go to the background, I see that my image is fixed. The attachment is on fixed. All right. Now let's go and see how we can create this beautiful marquee effect using 3 icons. You can use 3 different elements here, 3 logos or 3 boxes or whatever you want, and it's going to work fine. And I'm going to show you how you can do that in a very easy way. It is easy if you follow step by step. So make sure to be very attentive and to follow step by step the following steps. The first thing we need to do is to prepare our section. So let me get started from scratch. Let me delete all the elements that I have inside here right now. Okay, so you should start now with this situation here where you have a simple container. Let me add the container from scratch. So you should have a container like this one, just a flexbox container from top to bottom. And this is our starting point. And we called it Marquee. We already did this in the previous steps. All right, Marquee. And now inside here, the first thing that we need to put is our HTML block. So let's work with the HTML block. All right. Perfect. And inside this HTML block, we need to put now our code. So the code that you find in my free resources. When you scroll down, you will see this code, which is called WP Roads Marquee Effect for Elementor. We copy it. All right, we copy it here. We paste it here. And the final result, as you can see, it will be this one. We will have 3 elements. You can put inside here whatever you want. In my case, I will use icon, header, and the paragraph. And it's going to be repeated throughout the page like this. It's going to scroll like this. And it's going to be also automatically optimized for mobile and tablet. And it's going to, give a touch to your landing page, a design touch. All right. Let's go here and add a few more elements now. So we have the first element, which is the container with the marquee name. Then we have HTML code. Perfect. We have pasted inside here. And then we can go on by adding a few containers. So the first one, container, is going to be called marquee track. Just call it like this, you see. And then the second one is going to be inside here and is going to be called marquee group. We're going to call it marquee group. Let's rename it. All right. So we have everything in place. Inside the marquee group, let's make sure that the direction is going to be horizontal. And we're going to paste inside here whatever we want, actually. So this is going to be the main container that is going to be duplicated and is going to be used to see this scrolling effect marquee. So whatever you put inside here is going to be duplicated and used to create the marquee. In my case, I'm going to use 3 containers as I was mentioning. Let's do that. Okay, container number 1. And actually, before duplicating the 3 containers, I'm going to create the first one and then I'm going to duplicate it. So let's place inside here all the content that we want. In my case, it's going to be an icon. Then we're going to have heading. And then we're going to have actually a second heading. We're going to duplicate this one. Okay. The first heading is going to be just an H4. And this heading here is going to be a paragraph. All right. And I'm going also to use here, how do we call it? A styling for my icon. Let me style it differently. It's going to be framed. All right, circle. I'm going to change my icon. I'm going to use my personal library here that you can find also in my free resources. When you click on the Drive folder here, you're going to land on this page and you can download this free icon library, which is Line Icons free if you want. And you can simply install it by going to your icon libraries. You click on Upload. You add a new icon set, you give it a name, and you upload here the zip file that you find in my free resources. Pretty easy, you see? Then you will find this Line Icons free here available for you. And I will use, in this case, my candy cane, this one, and I will insert it. All right. And I will go just in the Style tab and do a few things. I will change the primary color to be my dark one. And I will change the border width to be 2 pixels. Okay, this is the basic stuff that I'm going to do. And then I'm going to assign also a CSS to create this gradient background, because we cannot do it at the moment with Elementor. We just have one plain color that we can add here if we want to add it. If you want a gradient one, you should work with CSS. And I will show you right now how to do that. You go to my free resources, you scroll down. And one of the codes is going to be this one, gradient background for icon element inside icon box widget, which is exactly what we want. Let's copy this code. Let's go back to the landing page. We go now to the page settings. And I always remind you that this can be changed in the future versions of Elementor. It might be maybe here to the top left side. You go to the advanced tab, you scroll down, and you copy the code right here. In my case, I already had it. So in your case, you just go down here, you make some space, and you copy the code. This is going to be our gradient icon code. We need now this class in order to apply this effect, and let's do that. So we copy the class, WPR gradient icon. We go to our icon, and we assign the class in the advanced tab. CSS class, copy the class, paste, and voila, easy as that. We just need now to go back to our global page settings, to the advanced. We go to the CSS. If you want to change the color, you just need to change this color code here, and it's going to be applied to your icon. Let me show you. If I, for example, go with this color here, it's going to be applied like this. And if I want to change the second gradient color, I can do that like this. You see? So pretty easy. You just need to go and change here the colors and apply the colors that you're using throughout your page. Now that I have my color in place, I can go on, continue creating my marquee section. Okay, let's select the marquee now. And let's style my text. I will also work here with global text since I'm going to duplicate this element and use it throughout the landing page. And I'm going to the Style tab here of my text, and I'm going to change it to be aligned to the center, first thing. Okay. And I'm going to create now a global typography. I'm going to create it from here. I'm going to assign space grotesque. All right. I'm going to make the weight bold. And I'm going to change also the size to be 22 pixels. Oh, actually, maybe even 23. Okay. Now, let's create this as a global setting, as a global font. I'm going to click on the plus icon here, and I'm going to call it LPS icon box title, so that I can easily reuse this font style throughout all my icon boxes. And if I need to change it, I can do it globally in a single positioning. Let's go and do that also here. We're going to place it to the center. It's going to be also different here. It's going to be also space grotesque. Okay. I'm going to paste the size as 18 pixels, and I'm going to change it as weight. The weight is okay, actually. Yeah, let me keep it like this. It's going to be LPS icon box text. All right. Beautiful. So now we have everything in place. It is all controlled globally. And we can leave it like this, actually. Or we can also assign my global dark color, which I think it's a little bit different. Yes, it is. And here I'm going to do the same. Oh, I can actually use this one. Let me check if there's a color that's going to work better here. But actually, I think that, yeah, this one it's fine, but also this one is good, dark one. Okay, I'm going to change the copy here to be sweet treat. Makes your life better. And then the last thing that I want to do inside this container is to select it and to change now the gaps. So when we go to the layout of this container, I will go to the gaps here and I will place it to 10 pixels to make things a little bit narrow, you see? Okay, now this is gonna work fine for me. It's the design that I wanted to achieve. And you, of course, feel free to put inside here whatever you want, the structure that you want. In my case, I will duplicate this container 3 times. And instead of calling it container, I will call it card. Okay, and I will duplicate it. Duplicate 1 and duplicate 2. Okay, perfect. It is working very well. I'm going to change now the content. So I'm going to the second one. I'm going to change the icon here. I'm going to assign the actual candy here. I'm going to change the icon here. It's going to be a gift. All right, and now I am okay with my elements here. A very important thing now to make things a little bit more, how do you say, organized, is the fact that you need to go to the main marquee group and make sure that the padding is going to be 0. So let's go to the advanced tab and let's put the padding of this marquee group to 0. All right, let's go and do the same to the marquee track. Actually, we're going to put the padding to 0 here, advanced padding 0. All right, and then stop. Let's publish and have a preview of what we are doing just to see. So this is our starting point, and then we're going to make a few things to create this effect. Let me go and show you how you can proceed. The first thing to do is to go to the HTML and to copy our class. The first class is called WPR Marquee. This one, we copy it. All right, and we add it to the first container, Marquee. Let's go to the advanced tab and we go to the class, CSS classes, and we copy this, WPR Marquee, easy. Then we go to the HTML again and we copy the second class here, which is WPR Marquee __ track. Okay, we copy this class now and we paste it into the Marquee track. So we go to the advanced tab of the Marquee track and we copy CSS classes. We just copy and paste it here, WPR Marquee track. Okay, let's keep this now class into our copy paste and we're going to the marquee group. Okay, we're going to the advanced tab and we're going to copy the same class and we're going to change just one part of the class. Okay, instead of using track here, we're going to write group. So we're leaving all the rest as it is. We're just going to change track to group. All right. Now everything is going to work a little bit different. You see that the element has shifted to the left and it has been, yes, it is shown like this. In order to make sure that the marquee group is going to work fine, we just need to go to the marquee track and make sure, this is very, very important, that in the track, the layout direction is going to be from left to right, horizontal. Let's put it like this, row horizontal, and let's publish. So this is very, very delicate, you see. You must follow each and every step very, very well in order to have this effect finally. And so we see that it is already working. There is just a white space here. How we can resolve that? Just by duplicating our marquee group. So we go back here, we go and close here, and we duplicate our marquee group. Duplicate. All right. We just need to duplicate one more time the marquee group. So we duplicate it. We have 3 marquee groups now, all right, in place. And we can simply publish it and we will see that the effect is going to work perfectly on desktop. Not only that, but also on mobile. Let me go and show you how this is going to work. All right, and now we have this beautiful effect in place. And let me show you when we go on mobile, we just need to do one last setting, which is going back here to the marquee track in this case. And we go to the layout and we make sure that when we are on mobile, in this case, we should make it on no wrap. All right, you see, just doing that, no wrap, we publish, then we reload our page here and we see that the marquee effect is going to work perfectly even on mobile. I really like this effect, you see. So if you managed to do that, congratulations, because that was a little bit tricky, but it is a beautiful effect. And if you want to have it on your landing page with your own content inside, yeah, Yeah, congratulations if you obtained this. And please give me a thumbs up. Okay, one last thing about the marquee is the fact that if you need to update the content here, you just need to remove the other two marquee groups. You work on this one, just on one marquee group, and then you reduplicate it, of course, when you finished changing the content. This is very important. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go inside each and every marquee group each time, and then this is, of course, not optimal. And that's it. We have it. Now let's go on with our third section. It's going to be the section where we're going to use a beautiful heading and an image, rotating image like this, and some animated icons. Then some other headings, and then our button like this. Beautiful, right? Let's go and do that. We're going to use now a few design tricks to do that, and let's get started. We're going to select now our CTA 1. Let's close the marquee section. Let's just concentrate now on the CTA number 1. And I'm going to change now the background of this section to be a dark background. I'm going to use the same color that I'm using for my dark text in my case. So I'm going to use a global color, LPS dark, and I'm going to use now the style that I have here on my header, on my heading, and I'm going to use it and paste it here on the second heading. So I will copy this one, copy, and I'm going to paste the style here. Paste style. All right. Now, in this case, I need to change a little bit the color. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to the style tab, and I'm going to change the color to be, let's say, a white color or a transparent one. Let me check with transparent if it's going to work fine. It's going to be a little bit weird. Yeah, it's nice, but weird. So I will change it maybe to be just, in my case, not transparent, but the same color that I'm using, the dark one. So I will go with dark color, and it's going to work very well. You see, this is exactly what I wanted to achieve in my case. And I will leave it like this. And I will simply write here step by step. Okay, this is my copy. Now here I will add my image, which is going to be an image like this one, for example, or a new image. You can also use my same images, the same images that I'm using in the Drive folder. You can access them in my free resources, of course. The link of the Drive folder is here. Now I have downloaded my image here, and I will upload it here on my website. All right, I can use it, select, and I will use just a mask here for this image. I'll go to the Style tab. To the Advanced tab, and I will use a mask. I will use a custom mask in my case. Custom mask. All right, let's upload my custom mask. You will find the mask here, Mask Shape Sun, in my free resources. You can download it, and then you can upload it here to your landing page. Let's go and do that. And this mask is an SVG mask, so if there is an error when you try to upload it, you should go to your Elementor settings in the dashboard, in the backend, and you should make sure that in your settings here, in the Advanced tab, you have enabled here unfiltered uploads. You see here, this must be enabled so that you can just upload any SVG icon or image. Okay, in my case, I have uploaded my SVG image. And as you can see, the result is this one. Pretty cool, right? If I want to enable the rotation effect, I should go now to the motion effects here, and I should just enable scrolling effects. Now I can use a rotate effect, and it's going to work like this out of the box. Right. All right. I really like it. I will leave it like this. If you need to change it, you just need to tweak around the stuff there, and it's going to be applied to your page. All right, let's publish, and let's have a quick preview now of what we are creating with this new page, with this new section. So we have the first one, which is beautiful. Then we have our marquee effect. We're going to, adjust all the elements between the different sections, the padding and so on at the end. So don't worry about that. We're going to have this one, beautiful section. It's going to work very well, you see. I really like it. And we can go on now by animating our icons down here. I want to use the same style that I'm using in these icons. So I'm going to copy and paste it. Copy. I'm going to paste the style here. Okay, so that I will use the same style that I have on my other icons. Great. All right. I'm just going to change now, of course, the content. I'll use the same icons just to keep consistency. I will just change one icon, the middle one, to be an arrow, because I want to obtain this effect that we have into our final result where we're going to have an arrow here, you see here, pointing to the call to action. When we scroll down like this, I really like it, that this arrow here is going to just kind of drown into the button. I really like it. Let's recreate this. So we are here, we can close here. And let's also choose here a different icon. Let me use, for example, the candy. Beautiful. And to animate them right now, we need to change a little bit the settings in the advanced tab for each icon. And we can just enable scrolling effects. So we go down here, we go to the motion effects, we enable scrolling effects. We can enable vertical scroll, we can make it down, all right. And as you can see here, the icon is going to start like this and it's going to scroll down like this. Then we can also make it horizontally scroll, maybe to right, all right. And we see that it's going to be like this. Oh, maybe let's make it to left. Let's see the difference. It's going to be like this, you see? It's going to go like this. I pretty like it, like this. And I'm going to do also a similar, maybe I'm also going to make it rotate. So let's go and do that here, rotate. So that the icon is going to rotate like this. I want the rotation speed to be a little bit faster. So let's put it to 5. Okay. So it's going to rotate fast like this. All right, beautiful. Now, if I want a symmetric effect on my candy here, on my second one, I can copy the style of this one and I can paste it here. And I can just make it different. So just invert the path. So go to the advanced tab here, go to the motion effects. I go to my scrolling effect. And the first one, the vertical one, is going to be the same. The horizontal is going to be not to left, but to right in my case. And the rotation also, I want to change it. I want to rotate to right. Okay, let me show you how this is going to work. You see? So this is going to be symmetrical. I really like it. And the center icon, I just want it to be scrolling from top to bottom into the advanced tab. I'm going to enable the same motion effects here, but I want just to enable now, in this case, the vertical scroll. All right. And I want to make it, of course, down. Okay. Beautiful, working very well. Now, to avoid this weird effect, I need to make this icon here fade out when we reach the bottom of the section. And to make that, I'm just going to enable my transparency and I'm going to make it fade out. You see? So that it's going to start like this and then it's going to fade out when it reaches the bottom here. And I can also change here the viewport. So let me make it to the 100%. So when it reaches the end, it's going to fade out completely like this. All right. And we can also change the way that this is going to behave, effects relative to viewport or entire page. Depending on you see here, it's going to behave like this. If I choose viewport, it's going to be a little bit different, you see? Yeah, in my case, it's similar. So I will keep it default. I just like it in default like this. All right. In fact, if I put entire page, I think that is going to continue scrolling. It's almost the same in this case. I do not see really the difference. So I'll keep it default. All right. And all right, I will just publish. I just need to have a preview to see how this is going to behave actually in the front end. I really like it. And I just need now to add all the other elements, or the other two headings. Let's do that together. Okay. So my first heading here is going to have a style that I'm going to use only in this part of the landing page. So I'm going to do it by hand. I'm going to make sure to assign a paragraph to this, and it's going to be a different style. Let's add my space grotesque here. Or maybe instead of using space grotesque, I will use Reenie Beanie. It is one of my favorite handwritten fonts. Okay, Reenie Beanie, and I can make it very, very big. But I was considering, yes, let me put it 50 pixels. Okay, we can write our copy here. Makes your life better. Better. It's getting better all the time. Makes your life better. Beautiful. Now I just need to change the color, of course. I will use a white color. All right. And I will leave it like this. And here I will change this to be a different call to action. Impossible to resist. Okay. I will change the style now. Since I will use this one only in this part of the page, I will keep it without a global setting, and I will assign my white color. Let me go and check if this is gonna. Oh, this is cool too. Actually, I will keep it like this. Let's go and check it out now. All right, we have this effect. All right, and if we want, we can even decrease a little bit. Actually, I like it. I like it like this. Yeah, I think I will keep it like this. But if I want to get rid of this spacing here, I can just simply go and work on the section and make it negative margin. But I will keep it like this because I like it. We'll start like this. Okay, and now the button. We should style the button to be a little bit more, designed. With like the rest of the page. So we should use now, in my case, for the button, the class for the border radius. So we go to the advanced tab and we assign here the first class, which is going to be just my global radius, WPR global radius. And if this is not going to work well, we just need to work with our variables. You see that the radius here is going to be applied to the whole container. And even if I go and center everything like this, it's going to be weird, you see? So let's remove this class. Okay, we're just going to work in the style tab using variables into the border radius. So we go here, enable our variable, okay, our custom settings, and we copy here our variable var open and close, and inside here, tatak border radius. So this is my variable, which I have in my CSS in my page, you see, var open bracket and so on, is the same. I will remind you here that is the same variable that we are using in the global CSS of our page, you see, which is this one. And if I change it from here, I will remember to you that is going to be applied throughout the whole page. Look, if I put it to 0, for example, it's going to work also in all the other elements where I'm using this variable, you see. This is pretty cool. Let me go back now to 35 actually. 35 pixels, all right. And let's publish. Now let's continue styling this button. I'll go back to my button settings, yeah. And I'm going to change the text color. No, I'm going to keep it like this, but I'm going to change the background color to use the dark color that I'm using throughout the website. I'm going to change also let me check if I have something else to change here. I don't think that there are. Yeah, I'm just going to change the hover color now. The hover color is going to be this one. The hover text color is going to be my dark color so that this is going to behave like all the other buttons. I'm just going to change the padding and the spacing of this element here. I want the text of this button to be more big, and I want to be very, very prominent and easy to see, of course. It should capture the eye attention. Let's change the typography here to use a bigger stuff. The font family is going to be default because I have applied it globally, but if I want to change it here, I can do that here. Okay, and I can use a size which is going to behave well on all. Let me go 35. Okay, and instead of click here, I'm going to write different stuff, of course, but I wanted to first style everything. Let me check the padding if I can improve it. Okay, I'm going to change the right and left, which is going to be a little bit bigger, 40 and 40. All right, now I like it. And I'm going also to, I'm going to leave it like this actually. Okay, I'm going to the advanced tab and I want just to align everything to the center. Okay, like this. Perfect. I'm going to change the content. Okay, now I can publish it, and if I want to obtain the same result that I have in my final result here, in my final landing page, I need to apply two different CSS elements, the shimmer effect and the glow effect that we see in the background. Okay, let's do that. Let's head to my free resources, to our free resources, because they are also yours, and let's go to the glow button effect. We copy this code here, and we paste it inside our settings. Advanced tab, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, space, and let's go and do that. Perfect. Now, to assign this code to the button and to apply the glow effect, we need a class, which is this one, WPR glow button. All right. And we copy this class, WPR glow button, and we paste it to our button, advanced tab, CSS classes. Ta-da! We have our beautiful glow effect. We should space all the elements inside here a little bit more. And to do that, we have two directions. We can just work with the spacing into the advanced tab here, margin and padding. But in my case, I just wanted to work with the gutter. Okay, so I will go and select my CTA container. I will to the layout, and I will go and change the gaps between the rows and the columns. In my case, I will keep it 50 pixels. Okay. Now it's going to breathe a little bit more. And I'm going also to assign, I will do that later, as I was mentioning. I will assign some padding top and bottom, but I will do that. But actually, I can do that now, okay? CTA number 1, advanced, padding. We go now and select rem, and I will unlink the values here. Link values together. No, I won't unlink them. I'm going to assign to the top 5 rem and to the bottom 5 rem too. It is working well for me, okay? It is exactly what I wanted as a spacing, and I can go and publish my page right now. All right. Let's preview everything. Okay, there is a glowing effect on my button. Beautiful. It works very well. And voila, all right. Now, what happens if you want to change the glow color of this button? It is pretty easy. You just need to go back to your CSS in your page settings, all right? And you just go and scroll until you find your glow effect. And you see there's this comment here, keyframes for pulsation. Change here the RGBA colors to match your desired glow color. Tip, ask ChatGPT or Elementor AI to do the change if you want to make it quickly. Okay, let's copy just the keyframes glow pulse part, all right, until the end here, until the last bracket, okay. And you paste it inside Elementor AI or inside ChatGPT, and you ask to change the color, okay. Change the color, change the RGBA color in this CSS to match my new color. And then here you paste simply the color that you're using. Let me show you how this is going to look as a final result of a prompt. Let's change the color to this green color here. For example, I'll copy this green color code and I will paste it here with the, okay. And so the prompt should be this. Change the RGBA color in the CSS to match my new color. And then here you paste your new color. Okay, let's do that. Here's your updated CSS. You're using your new color. Great. Copy code. And we're going to paste it inside our landing page. Look how this is going to behave. And now the color is green, you see? Great, very easy. In my case, I will just keep it as it was before, my pink. It was just to show you how easy it is to change your color in this way. All right. Now we have finished our third section, actually, and we can also applause ourselves. Yeah, great. We're going to add the shimmer effect of the light that enlighten the button like this. Yes, at the end of the tutorial. So just keep that for the end. We're going on now by creating our fourth section. Let's go and do that. All right. So this is going to be our fourth section. Okay. And let's have fun by styling it together. So the first thing here, we're going to create a global text for our headings here. Let's go and do that. It's going to be an H3 in my case. Okay. And I'm going to apply H3 too. Okay. I'm going to change the text content. Okay, let's create the style of our heading here. It's going to be a space grotesque. The size, in my case, is going to be just, let's check, for example, 30 pixels. Yeah, it can work fine. We're going to style this from mobile at the end, of course. Okay. But let's keep it like this and let's create a new global font. It's going to be LPS. I will call this feature font title. Feature title. Okay. And I will assign it also to my second title here. It's going to be style, global one, feature title. Where is it? There it is. Perfect. I can go now to the second one. It's going to be the subtitle, this one. And it's going to be Reenie Beanie. Okay. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, 20 pixels, maybe something more, 25 pixels. Okay. Makes your life better. I'm going to change also here the transformation to be uppercase. I like it uppercase actually. Okay, makes your life better like this. Great, great, great. I'm going to transform this into a global setting. So LPS is going to be feature subtitle. And then I'm going to apply here my font style also to my text, which is going to be this one, Space Grotesque. I'm going to make it 1.3. Okay, maybe, no, it's actually 1.5. It's good. Okay. And let's create a global one. I will call this simply big text. All right. Create. I will assign now the same also to the others. So copy and paste style. And we'll do that here. Copy and paste style. So that now I'm controlling this globally with different fonts. Font settings, global font settings. And let's add my image here as a background. So I will go and select my container here, style, and I will go and upload my image. I can upload here this one. I will go and do that here. My image, sorry, in my container here, style image, background, tuck. All right, now since these images are background images, I can style them to have also a parallax effect like the one that we have here, like this, you see. And to do that, we just need to go inside our landing page settings, inside the first one, and we select a few things. The image resolution in my case is going to be full. The position is going to be, let me check, I will keep it on default. The attachment is going to be fixed, all right. And then it works only on the preview, and the repeat, and only on desktop, of course. The repeat is going to be no repeat. The display size is going to be cover, all right. And let's keep it like this and see how this is going to work in the front end. Let me go and have a preview. All right, perfect. You see that now is working fine, exactly as I wanted. And I just need to apply the same settings now to my second image. Let's go and do that. I'll go and make sure to apply the same settings. So I will copy and paste style. All right. So that now when I publish and have a preview of my landing page here, I will see that this effect is going to be like this. Or there has been a problem here. Okay. Let's just make sure that we have the same settings here. Let's do it by hand. Okay. Position is going to be default. Attachment is going to be fixed. Repeat is going to be no repeat, and display size is going to be cover. Let's publish here. Let's reload the page, and now it's going to work fine. Beautiful. Okay. To make sure that this is going to behave well also on other screen sides, we need to assign a specific height to those containers. So we go into the first container, into the layout setting, and we go and assign a minimum height of 200 or 250 is going to work fine too. Okay, now we're going to do the same here, 250, layout, 250, and we can assign also, oh, why this is not working? Yeah, it is working, okay. We can also go and assign now to our elements inside here, inside the features, let me check it out here, to the layout. No, this is not going to work like this. Yes, it's going to work. Okay, we go to the features setting here in the, let me close the CTA one. Okay, we are in the features container, into the layout, and we can align everything to the center if you want. It's going to be more organized. And we can publish and have a quick preview. But before doing that, let's select the containers here. And if you want, we can assign here a box shadow and a border radius. Let's do that. So we're going to the advanced tab, and we're going to assign actually our CSS class that we use for our border radius, WPR global dash radius. You see that it has been applied correctly. And we're going to do the same in the other container here, advanced tab, WPR radius, okay? And we're going to also work here with our box shadow. Let's do that. In the first one, how we can work with the box shadow here, we can just go to the style and we can see that we have the border where we can enable this box shadow. We will blur and spread. So let's do that. We'll blur 30 and we will spread a little bit more. Let's do it around 20. Okay. And then we will make it really, really subtle by dropping down to 0.20, 0.2. Okay. Let's go and copy and paste style, copy, paste style. All right. And now let's enhance the spacing between the elements. So for example, we go to the main container, the features container, and let's close here. Otherwise it's going to be a little bit too messy. Perfect. And we can go and work in the advanced tab with padding. We place it in rem. We unlink the values as always. Okay. And we use 5 to the top and 5 to the bottom. All right. Then we use the same spacing also, a similar spacing for the gap between all the elements inside this container. So we go to the layout tab now, still in the features container, and we work now with the gaps. We can also change here the value to be in rem actually. Okay, and let's see what happens if we use, for example, let's say 2 rem here. Okay, let's use 3 rem. Okay, I like it like this. And I will publish now and I will have a preview. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, it's gonna work very well, you see. All right, beautiful. This is my features section. Let's go on now and complete the other 2 sections, the number 5 and the number 6. And to do that, let's close here and let's go on with the benefits now. Okay, the benefits, let's add immediately here some padding and gutter so that we're going to use the same settings actually that we have here. Let's do that. We're copying the features section and we're pasting them into the second, into the 5th section here, the benefits, paste style. Okay, so that here we're using the same gap spacing and the same padding top and bottom. All right, let's go and create the style of our cards here. We're going to apply here our glass effect. And to do that, we're going to the advanced tab in the first container. And we're going to copy here the WPR-glass CSS class. All right. We're going to do the same also in the others. And before doing that, let's edit this container and let's also work with the padding. I'm going to assign a 2 rem padding here to this container. So that is going to look like this, all right? And I can copy and paste the style now to the others. Copy, paste style, all right, and paste style. Great. Awesome. Now we can publish. Okay, and this is going to be our 5th section. Let's add a background image. Style, background image. I'm going to use this image here. You can use, of course, the images that you're using in your own landing page. And I'm just going to position this center. I'm going to use an attachment fixed. And I'm going to make it no repeat. And I'm going to make display size cover. All right. Let's publish. So now let's publish and have a quick preview of what's happening in the front end. And it's going to behave like this. Beautiful. Okay, now we are getting closer to our final result. Okay, now to achieve a deeper effect here for our background image, we're going to add a background gradient. So let's go and do that. We're simply going to assign to our container, to the benefits container, a background overlay. So we scroll here, we open up the background overlay, and we're going to use a gradient. We're going to use as a first color here our dark color, and as a second color we're going to use a transparent color. So we're going just to put down here this to be totally transparent. Now we're going to pull the opacity up to 100% and look how beautiful is this effect. Of course, it's going to work better if the previous section has a black ending here. So that is going to be this gradient effect like this. But anyway, we're going to do that in a few steps at the end of the video, where we're going to refine all the little details of the landing page. Now we're going to assign here to these icons all the styling that we have also into the icons here. So let's do that. Let's copy and let's paste the style down here. So we have the first icon here, paste style. I'm going to place this icon here on the left like this, and I'm going to copy and paste the style here. All right, and I'm going to do the same here, paste style and paste style. They look beautiful. Now I'm going to use here a global styling that I'm using throughout the landing page. I think that I will use the same that I have here. So I will pick this first font here, I'll go to style, and I'll use here my global. The icon box is good, but it's a little bit small. So I will go with the LPS feature, and I will transform it actually, because I want also here to be different. I want it to be bold. So let's go and do that. We're going to open up here and we're going to manage global fonts, clicking on the gear icon. Basically, it's going to open up our site settings here, and it's going to make access to our global fonts. Okay, and once we are here, we can go and change the LPS feature title to be bold. So we're going to do that here. Weight is going to be bold. All right, let's save changes. All right, even if you do not see it immediately here as a preview, once you click on the X icon and you reload the page, you're going to see it correctly in bold right now. Look at the difference. Okay, now it has been saved correctly. You see that I have my bold text. I'm going to change the color here in this element here, and I'm going to make it white. All right, and I'm going actually to add also a subtle shadow. Let's go and do that. It's going to be a text shadow like this, and I'm going to keep it very subtle. So I'm going to keep it like this, and I'm going to copy and paste the same style also in my other titles. As you can see, they become immediately more readable like this. All right, perfect. And I'm going to assign also a different style to my text down here. So it's going to be, let me check here if I have a style correctly. Maybe this one, big text. Yes, this one, or even better, I think that the basic text is going to be better in this case. And I'm going to make it dark. All right, dark, or even just a different color here, like this one or this one. Yeah, I think that the pink here, the light pink, can work well. Let's copy and paste style here. Okay, let's go and check out how this is going to work now in the front end. All right, scroll. And we see that, yeah, basically it's working fine. But if we want, we can increase a little bit more the contrast here with the background image to make it more readable. And we have many different ways to do that. We can even add a different background layer to our cards if you want to increase the contrast. I never tried to do that, but I think that it will work fine. Maybe by using just not the simple background, but the background overlay. For example, here, if I want to increase the contrast, I can use a simple color, I believe. Like, for example, let's say this one, and I can make the opacity really like this. Okay, something like this. And it can work pretty well, as you can see. And I can use the same style now that I have here, for example. Let me copy and paste the style. Let me check if this is going to work better. Yes, like this is going to be good, actually. So yes, up to you to find the right solution for you. In my case, if I am okay, I can copy and paste the style here of my cards, which is okay, perfect. Let's do the same thing here, paste style, and I will paste the style here too. All right, and I'm just going to copy and paste the style also of my text here, copy and paste the style. Look how beautiful this landing page it is. Publish. Let's reload the page here, our preview. All right, and there we are. Let me scroll down. Yes, works very well, this new section now, you see? It is beautiful. Okay, now we're going to add a similar background to this one, but we're going to put it here, and without using animation, behind this subtitles. This is a cool effect that you can apply in many different occasions in your designs in Elementor. And I'm going to show you also a quick trick here that you can apply, which is pretty cool, that makes overlap the borders top and bottom of your words, and it makes them break the background. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to the Style tab now, and I'm going to, to the Advanced tab, and I'm going to make the content align self to the start. So that, as you can see, is going to occupy only the place that it needs. Then we're going to assign a padding. I'm going to use a simple padding left and right in this case. All right, I'm going to use left and right padding in rem of 1 rem. 1 left and 1 right, perfect. And then I'm going to use a background. So Advanced, right, background. And I'm going to use a gradient background using my global colors. The first one is going to be this one, and the second one is going to be the light pink. All right, this is going to work fine. And I'm going to make them 90 degrees. Okay, exactly what I wanted. I think that I will create maybe a global font for this, or maybe not, I don't know. Anyway, let's go and check it out, how we can go to the style and make it a little bit more visible. I don't know how this font, this is actually already a global font, great. I don't know how this is going to behave when you assign, how do you call that? A bold effect. Let's go and check it out, because it's gonna help make it more readable with our background. So this is going to be basically the font, icon box title, text, feature subtitle. This is the one. All right. Weight is going to be bold. Yeah, we cannot have a preview, of course, because Elementor is tired right now. But anyway, we close here. And when we reload the page, we should have a quick view of our bold subtitle. All right. Let's give it a few seconds. Okay, it's less elegant, but more readable. Yeah, let's keep it like this for the moment. I'm going to show you now the effect that I wanted to show you, which is this one. I select this element, and I'm going to work now with, actually, I should have stayed here in the global settings. Anyway, let's switch this to a simple font. And I'm going to work now with the line height. This is a magic option. Let's go and do that. I'm going to use, in this case, EM. And I'm going to try with 0.5. Let's see if this is going to work fine. All right, look how beautiful this is. It looks like a marker or a highlighter. 0.4 maybe? No, 4, it's a little bit too... Yeah, 0.5 is perfect actually. Let's go now and check if we can change the border radius actually. So we can go to the Advanced tab and assign our global radius, which is using a class, is going to be our WPR global radius, if I'm not wrong. Is it this one? Yes, it's the right class. And then we're going to copy and paste the same styling now to the second text here. Let's go and do that. All right, I'm here. Copy, paste style. No, not reset style, sorry. I wanted to paste the style actually here. That's great. Let's publish and have a preview now in the front end, because it can vary a little bit when we are in the actual front end. Oh, yes. Oh, look how beautiful this is, you see? It looks like someone has highlighted this, this text. Works very well. All right. Makes your life better. Okay, I really like this section here. And if you want to spice up things a little bit, we can work now with section dividers, actually, to obtain a movement here in this section here, for example, and also between this section and this section. Yeah, let me show you what I mean. Let me show you here. For example, you see just here we can create this effect, and we can create a similar effect down here with some waves like this. And then we can also create, yeah, that's it. That's the thing that I wanted to show you. Let me show them to you right now. So the first effect is going to be here, and we're going to apply a top shape divider. Let's go and do that. So we select our CTA one. Let's close all the others. The CTA number one is going to be separated with a shape divider. So let's go to the style. We're going to use a shape divider to the top, which is going to be a curve, and it's going to be invert. All right, so that we are going to use the curve in this direction, and it's going to be specular to the first one, you see. So we're working in a specular way. And we can go now actually and select the marquee section, and we can go to the layout and make the gaps to 0. All right. And we're going to change the padding top and bottom to the advanced tab to make it more spaced and more breathe. To breathe, make it breathe. Let's make our marquee breathe. How's life? Let me know in the comment section below, and give a thumbs up to this video if you're enjoying it right now. Let's unlink the values and let's go to the top. Yes, about 2 rem, and the top on the bottom is gonna be 2 rem too. Don't worry about the slowness of my computer because, as I was mentioning before, I'm using my software to record, which is pretty heavy, and this page is also very intense to render. So of course. But this is not going to be the case in the front end once we are finishing optimizing everything, of course. And remember to work with lightweight images too, because this is very important too. Okay, right now we are ready to give it a test now. Let's go and check it out. Beautiful. Now it works very well, you see. So this is a cool effect that we can apply to our landing page to make it more stand out. Great. And then this is the call to action. Beautiful. And we can separate now this section here from this one using that waves effect, the one that we also saw in this example here. So we have this waves here. And let's do that. It's pretty easy. We just can apply the same concept, but to this second section, to this fourth section actually. Let's go to the Style tab now, to the features, and we're going to use shape dividers to the top and to the bottom. In this case, we can, of course, use whatever you want, and you just need to assign a color, which is going to be, in this case, the dark color. And you see, based on the shape that you will assign here, is going to change completely the perception of the design, of course. So in my case, I will use something like, yeah, this one is cool. But I wanted to use the same that I had before, so this one, and I'm going to make it a little bit more height, like this, and more width. All right, and I'm going to apply the same to the bottom. So let's go to the bottom. I'm going to use waves, and they're going to be also colored in the dark one. And as you can see, the dark color is going to fade into the image. This is also pretty cool as an effect. And let's publish actually, and let's see how this is going to behave correctly in the front end. Beautiful, you see? So now I have my wave effect. I can apply also a background if I want to this section. I can get creative as always, and I can apply whatever I want. In this case, it's working very well like this, in my opinion. And wow, look how beautiful this image is going to reveal herself like this at the end. And I have my button to start now. Okay. Now let's create our last call to action, which is this one. And then we're going to refine everything from mobile. And we're going to add a little detail, some little detail here and there. Okay, let's open up here. We're going to go to the advanced tab here. We're going to unlink values and work with rem. We're going to use top 5 and bottom 5. And actually here we can also play with some more spacing depending on the style of design that you're using in your page. But in my case, I will keep it like this, simple. I can use this kind of title here if I want. Why not? I can actually use this one. I will copy and paste the style here, and I will use it here. Paste style, okay. And I will use actually a different call to action, which is going to be start now. All right, or don't hesitate. All right, and hesitate, don't hesitate, and click here. And I'm going to copy and paste the style that I have in this button here. Copy, paste style. All right, beautiful. And let's go and change now the background. Just changing the background is going to be the last final touch that we need in this section, and it's going to be dark. Beautiful. Don't hesitate. Start now. And here we're going to write start now. All right. And now let's publish it and have a preview of our beautiful landing page from the top here. I want to open it from an incognito window actually, just to be sure to see the actual page. Let's do that. All right. Tack. So this is my beautiful landing page. I have this beautiful animation here. Okay. Then I have my marquee effect, which is working fine. Then I have my scrolling effect section. Really love this one. Then I have my features. I can enhance this by using a background here for those subtitles. We're going to do it in a few seconds. And then here I have my beautiful benefits section that now is very good, readable. And I have this beautiful, how do you say, parallax effect with the image behind that says still, and then don't hesitate, start now. All right, this is my beautiful landing page. Okay, now I'm going to optimize it from mobile. So let's go back here, let's close it, and let's check it out from laptop, but maybe just for tablet. We're starting by tablet now, and this is already working fine. Sorry, here I need just to close all the elements here so that Elementor doesn't freak out. So this is the hero section and is working fine. The marquee effect is going to be visible only in the front end, and it will work fine because we already tested in the previous steps. Then we have the first CTA here, and let's see how this is going to behave on tablet. It's going to still work fine, I think, as you can see. And I'm going to leave it like this. And the features section is going to be, I can make it better, I think. As you can see, there is no space at left and right. So let's check why this is happening. We go to the features tab here, all right. And we see that we have a width that we can control actually here. Let's do that. And let's use the boxed one, and let's use here in percentage. And let's make it 90%. In my case, this is going to work fine. As you can see now, all the content is going to be aligned and spaced from left to right, and it's going to work very well. And I'm going to do the same here with this other section. Actually, I do not know why this is happening, but it might also depend on the way that you are configuring the whole site settings in Elementor. Normally, I always use 90% on tablet and mobile, but apparently here I didn't set it up correctly. Anyway, you can change just the behavior like this. You enter the container and you just adjust with 90%. Yeah. And let's do that also on our last section here. We're going to adjust our layout width to be percentage and to be 90%. All right. Anyway, if you want to, let's publish. If you want to manage this kind of behavior globally, you just need to go to the site settings, to the layout settings. Let me show you how you can do that. You go to the layout settings and you simply go to the content width here, and you go in percentage when you are on tablet, for example, and you apply just from here 90%. And this is going to be applied globally. So when you save changes, you're sure that this is going to be applied globally. Let's see also here from mobile. If you see here, you see that the same is happening here. There's a problem because all the elements are kind of attached at the margins. We can go percentage and we can go 90% also when we are on mobile. This is going to work fine on most devices. And as you can see now, everything is more organized. Perfect. And it is exactly what I wanted to create. This is a beautiful landing page, by the way. If you're liking and enjoying the design that we are creating right now together, give a thumbs up to this video because just to share joy, share the joy about it. Okay, now let's continue optimizing from tablet. We go back here, we just click the X icon and we go back to our landing page, and we make sure to check also the other sections that we were checking. And I think that from tablet they still work fine, so there's nothing major to change in this moment. We go and see here, we have all the, yes, the problem now starts when we are switching to mobile. So let's switch to mobile, to telephone portrait, not portrait, but yes, portrait. And we see that our first section is perfect. So it is beautiful, nothing to change here. This one is going to work fine. We're just going to adjust a little bit here, the spacing. So, but we're going to do that later because we're going to adjust the spacing also from desktop. So do not do that from mobile. The call to action section is perfect like this. This one, it's a little bit weird because we have the first part, which is working fine. And the second one, there is double image, you see. So let's invert the behavior here. We can do that in many different ways. In this case, since we're using, what are we using here? Just simple containers. We can go and select our image container here and place it at the end simply. So depending on the structure that you're using here, you will need to adjust differently, of course. In my case, I will just go to the second image, this one, and I will tell in the advanced tab, I will tell Elementor to place it at the end. So align self end. Sorry, not align self, but order end, right? The order should be at the end. As you can see now, the image is at the end. If I want, I can also decrease a little bit the spacing between the containers. Let's go and see how you can do so. I can click on the container here, and the main one, of course, in this case, and I can go from 3 rem into gaps to 2 rem, or even 1 rem. All right, and I can increase the spacing between the image and the second paragraph. Let's just go here. This is just going to be applied from mobile. I'm going to use margin here, and I'm going to use bottom margin in rem, and I'm going to use 2 rem of margin, so that is going to be more organized like this. All right, beautiful. So this is looking fine for me. Okay, the same happens here for my last section, which is great. It is working fine, and I can finally publish. And if I want, I can also have a preview directly on my mobile phone, or right on my tablet, just to check if everything is going to work correctly. And I'm pretty satisfied now of my of my page. And let's have a preview now, like this. So we're going to enable the inspector, and we're going to enable now our how you say here, our responsive. This is responsive. Let's place this like this. All right, and let's go and check it out. This is going to work fine, the marquee. These icons are a little bit weird because the spacing now has changed, you see. And oh, there is actually here something that it is creating a problem here on the right. Let's see if we can discover what this is. I think it's the shadow maybe of this elements. This is weird, but it might, oh yeah, oh no. It's actually really the animation here which is causing the problem here, you see. So let's resolve this. Let's resolve the animation problem. We're going to check this container, which is the container of the rotating icons. We can either remove it from mobile if we want to keep things simple, or we can remove those 2 icons here. And this is exactly what I want to do from mobile. I just want this icon here to be visible, while these 2 other icons want to be visible. So let's go to the advanced tab. I'm going to remove now into the responsive settings from mobile this icon, and also this other icon here is going to be, no, not this one, sorry. The candy icon is going to be removed from mobile. Let's check it out here. Responsive, hide on mobile portrait. Publish. Actually, I would like this icon to be centered when we are working on mobile. Let me check here if I can do so by align everything to the center, and also making sure here that we are working well like this. No, this is not the case. Let me check it out from here. Okay, it should be working fine now. Okay, let's publish. I will now reload my page here from mobile. You see that we had this error here where the scrolling effect was causing this lateral scrolling. And now when we use the page, it is going to work very well. We have just 1 icon, which makes sense from mobile. It doesn't create clutter and overwhelming, and it is working fine. Actually, we can make it maybe more visible, or we can switch the positioning of this element to be more down here. Let's see if we can do that easily. We just can select this container, and we can change the position of this container to be maybe at the end. Yes, why not? Let's not at the end, sorry. We should change it to the advanced tab, and we should assign a specific order. So let's go custom here, and let's assign how many elements we have here. We have this one, 1, 2, 3. We have 4, 5, and 6. Let's assign the number 5 here. Or even, yes, the number 5 is going to work well, I think. And this is going to be the last one. So let's assign to the button the last one. So it's going to be the end. All right. I think that like this is going to work fine because we're going to have the arrow just before the button. Let me check if this is going to work fine. Now, exactly what I wanted, you see? So basically, we are using this. We scroll, we see the arrow here. Beautiful. It is working very well. Okay, Right. And all the rest is working fine. Beautiful. So we have optimized from mobile. Let's go back now to desktop and work a little bit with the spacing between the sections to make it more smooth. And then let's add a few tweaks here and there, and then we have finished to create our beautiful landing page. So now we have finished the big work, and we can assign a little shimmer effect to our buttons. Look what I mean. You see this shimmer effect is the background light that appears in the buttons like this, you see, boom, like this, and kinds of drive the eyes to the button to get started. Yes, let's do that. Let's create the shimmer effect. Now to add the same shimmer effect, you just need to head to my free resources. You scroll down here, and you go and copy and paste the code, which is called shimmer effect. There it is. If you copy this code inside a single button, the effect is going to be applied only to that specific button. And if you're copying this code into the whole page, the effect is going to be applied to the buttons throughout the whole page. So yeah, be careful to this depending on the way that you want to assign this effect to your buttons. So let's go to the page settings now. In my case, I'm going to assign this to the whole buttons appearing in this page. I'm going to the advanced tab, I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to paste the code at the end here. Button shimmer effect. Look. Let's go and check it out now. Publish. We're going to reload our beautiful page, and magically we're going to have the shimmer effect applied to all the buttons into our page. So it's going to be there. It's going to be also in these big buttons here in the call to actions, like this. And it's going to be also, of course, in our final call to action. Now let's link our call to actions, because we need to link them actually to the top of the page. Even if Elementor just places an empty link which goes automatically to the top of the page, we just need to make it sure that this is going to work everywhere. So we're going to this button here, for example, and we're going to type into the link dash hero. All right. Let's keep it like this. And we're going to do the same now also to the other buttons. Dash hero. Hero dash. Dash hero. And up here, we're going to call the first section here with an ID, which is going to be hero. So the ID of my first section is going to be CSS ID hero, without the dash in this case, just hero. Publish. So now when we are navigating through our landing page, we're going to click on the Get Started button, and it's going to bring us to the top. And it's going to be the same right here with the second call to action. This is working very well. The landing page looks beautiful, and I'm really proud of it. And I hope that you're going to be it too, of course. Now you just need to test it. You can maybe put here a video instead of just the title. You can put whatever you want. You can modify and reach your own design and your own marketing goals using this structure. And I show you pretty everything that you need to know when you want to get creative here in Elementor, and at the same time also keep the focus on conversion. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's go now and see what we can do when we set up our Elementor form. If you're using Elementor Free, you can use any other form provider that enables you to embed a form inside this widget here. And for example, Omnisend or MailerLite or whatever you're using to collect your leads. In my case, I'm using Elementor Pro, so I have my form here that I have called main optin, but you can change it, of course, as you wish. This form name is it's useful for you in the back end, so let's keep it tied to the things that you're doing with this form. In my case, I will just call it main opt-in. And I will go here and check that all my fields are correctly set up. So for example, there is my name here, which is a text field. It's going to be required in my case because I want all my leads to have a name. And in the advanced tab, I make sure to have the ID name set up like this correctly. So this is working fine. Then I have my email field. It should be required, of course. In the advanced tab, the ID is correct, is email. And I can go on and check all the other elements. So for example, I can define the buttons and so on, but the most important stuff here is the actions after submit. So basically what happens when someone submits their data. So here is where the magic happens. Collect submissions. This you have it enabled by default if you're using Elementor Pro. And this collect submissions was when it's enabled. You can see in the backend when you exit to WordPress. Let's open this into a new tab just to make things clearer, you will see that when you head to Elementor and you go to submissions here, you will see all the different people that have submitted this form. You will see their data here. You can open up the entry. Oh, sorry, not this one, but you need to click actually on the email address. In this case, you see name and last name, or just the name here in this case, the email, and also all the actions log. Because here, there's going to be a log that's going to keep track of all the actions that you set up here. So the email, for example, that you can choose to send to the people, to the person that fills the form, or even just to your administration email, if you are collecting also this kind of submissions if you want. And when you enable email, you see that here you have the email notification. You can decide here the address that will receive this email notification. And as you can see here, you also have dynamic tags if you want to do that. Very nice, this one. So here, for example, in the first email, you can set up a notification that you can receive each time someone fills this form, even just if it is for your archive, if you want to do that. And you can insert here your email if you want. You can insert here a specific subject that you are going to add to this notification actually. And here you can use this shortcode that will simply output all the form fields inside here. And this is inside the body of the email. And then here you can change the from email if you want to change it, the from name, and the reply to email. You can even change to select the email field here if you want to reply to directly the user that has filled the form. This is pretty cool. You can use copy carbon in the BCC, of course, if you want. And then here you can change all the metadata that you're going to stamp inside the email, print inside the email. So you have the date, time. You can use also the page URL. So it's going to just tell you which is the page URL where the user has filled this form. In this case, it's our URL of the landing page. Then we have the user agent, so some data about the browser and other stuff that the user was using when it filled the form. Then remote IP and credit. Credit is just a mention of Elementor. So we can get rid of this. And if you do not need some of those elements, you can just simply get rid of those like this. Okay. Now, in my case, if you want... if you want in general, you can also use here all the form shortcodes to output dynamic data. So for example, if you want to send this notification not to yourself, but to the user, for example, or if you want to have two notifications, one that you will receive and one that will be sent to the user, you can simply change it by using also another action after submit and also updating all the data here. Let me show you how this is going to work. You can change it here. Yeah, you can change it. You can add another notification, which is going to be the email number 2. And you can use, for example, the number 1 to receive yourself a notification, and the number 2 to send a first notification to the user that has just submitted this form. You can use this actually to do anything you want. For example, you can already send here the lead magnet right inside this notification if you want. And this will help you save time also by avoiding to connect to a third-party email marketing service if you do not want to do that. Or you can do many things here. So for example, you can just also send a notification to the user that will confirm his or her subscription to your landing page. So we go to the form fields and we see that we have in the email section in the advanced tab the ability to copy this shortcode and use it whatever we want into the email settings notification. So we scroll down. We go to the email number 2, and instead of using here our email, we're just going to copy and paste the shortcode, field ID email. So this is going to make that the email number 2 is going to be received by the person that will fill the form. Let's go and check it out, how this is going to work. This is my subject, or just a new lead. New opt-in, for example. You can change the subject as you want, and you can also here output some dynamic data. So you can go in form fields, name, advanced, and we're going to pull here the name of the person that has filled the form here. New lead, colon, and the name of the person. And here we can output all the fields, or we can change and select ourselves how we can output them, for example. A new user called... Oh, this one actually is the email that the user will receive. You've just opted in to our landing page with your email. And here we're going to output the email. Okay, let me zoom a little bit here, and name, and we're going to output here the name of the user that has filled the form. So we can personalize all the notifications, and we can make the user feel welcomed and follow up with some personalized stuff. And here, if you have a more complex opt-in, you can also output all the data. Here are all the data. Okay, so just to show you how this is going to work, you can decide also here the from email. If you want, you can change it. This is going to be the from email, and this is going to be the from name. In this case, I'm going to change it to Pascal, for example. So it's going to appear that I am sending this email notification, and the reply to setting. And if you want, you can also insert some copies and also add some metadata. Let's say that we want to stamp also print, sorry, the date and time and the page URL, for example. We can do that. Send as HTML. Okay, so this is going to send our email as an HTML. So if we want, you can use actually here HTML inside. So you can use, for example, bold or paragraph and so on. Let's say that this first one is going to be just a simple paragraph, and it's going to be bold. Okay, for example, bold, and we're going to remove, we're just going to make 2 paragraphs. Let's say like this paragraph. Then we're going to use another paragraph here. Okay, perfect. And we're going to close the paragraph here. All right, let's see how this is going to work in the front end. So we're just going to test now our opt-in, publish, and let's go and make the first test. It's going to be very easy and simple. Let's go on this page, for example. We fill the form. Okay, we're going to use another email, like for example this one. Get started. Your submission was successful, perfect. And then when I go now to my backend, exit to WordPress, I will see that I am collecting actually all the submissions. I just need to go to Elementor, submissions, okay. And I will see here my submission, perfect. Main opt-in, landing page tutorial, ID number 5, okay. And here is all the data. So I see the name, the email, and I see also the actions log. You see, I have the first email that has been sent. That is the one that I have received as an administrator. You see that here is the email number 1, this one. So this is the email where I have received this first notification. Here is the subject, and here are all the fields. And then there is going to be also the second email sent to the user. So this is going to be the email number 2, which is completed successfully. Let's go and check it out into our email reader. And here's the email. You see, this is the first one, the one that I have received as an administrator with all the data. And here I have the one that I'm sending to the user actually. So of course I need to change the subject, but it says new lead and the name of the user. And then you see here that it has respected my HTML because I have just used this in bold and just a paragraph. You just opt into our landing page with your email and name Pascal. Here are all the data, name Pascal, email, voila. And here are all the metadata that we are collecting. So page URL, here we have the time and date. Great. So this is working fine. And now I'm going to show you a few more things. You can also collect, between collect submissions and email notifications, you can also enable a lot of other different actions. You can even use webhooks if you want to go very a step forward, or you can open up a pop-up. You can you can connect with Slack, with MailerLite, Mailchimp, GetResponse, and so on. You see here we have very advanced stuff that we can do with this, and we can also connect this with many other different services. If you use an app like AutoKit or Bitforms, for example, or Bit Integrations. Sorry, Bit Integrations, it's a very powerful one in this case. And using Bit Integrations, which is all free, there is a free version, which is very powerful. And there is also a pro version, but in the free version, you can connect, for example, this form with Omnisend, like I show you in the Omnisend tutorial that I will link you in the description box below. So you can do many different stuff you see here. And we can also use the redirect, which is very important and powerful. So we can choose, for example, to redirect our users to a custom confirmation page. And this is a very powerful solution. And we can see that we can enable here a special redirect to a specific link. Let's publish and let's go and actually create the specific page. Let me show you the one that I have just created. This is the confirmation page, loading your surprise, and then boom, you're in. Pretty cool, right? And we can create this page in a very easy way. We just need to edit this with Elementor. So we create a new page with Elementor. Let's do that together. We're going to go here. Okay, and we're going to create a new page right now. Plus page. I'm going to call this page confirmation, and then I'm going to enable Elementor. But before doing so, I want to connect this page with a parent page, which is going to be actually my landing page. So I'm going to go here. Okay, so in my case, my first page was landing page tutorial, and I want to make this page as a child of that page so that everything will be tidy up in the back end. Okay, let's go and publish this page, and let's page, and let's edit with Elementor. Okay, we don't need this actually. We just need to enable Elementor. All right, let's comment and give a like to this video if you're enjoying this right now. Thank you in advance. As always, we go here to the page settings that might be moved here on the upper left side of the page, in your case, and we go here to Elementor Canvas so that we can remove the header and the footer of this page. Yeah, and we can create now a beautiful structure like this one that will load like this. We're going to have a message here, a custom message, and then after 3 seconds, a confetti explosion like this. Okay, let's go and change this. And create this, sorry. And to do that, we're going to repeat the same structure that we have here. We're going to use 3 containers. In the first container, we're going to apply an HTML element, which is going to contain the code to make all this happen. Okay. Then we're going to create another container, which is going to contain the message. This one is going to be called the message. Okay. And in this message, or loading message if you want, we can place inside here whatever we want. Of course, in my case, I will just paste a heading, but feel free to paste inside here whatever you want. This is going to be, let's say, our H2, and style is going to be centered. And I'm going to paste inside here, for example, loading your surprise. Let's say that I am sending a lead madness, for example, or something special to my subscribers. And then here in the advanced tab, I can maybe use some padding top and bottom. Let's do that. Rem, top 5. We just unlink the values here so that everything is going to appear a little bit organized, at least. Let's say like this, okay? And if you want, you can apply here, how do you say, an animation. You can do that by using simply some advanced stuff here. When you go to motion effects, you can use entrance animations, for example, and here you can find some cool animations like, for example, this one or whatever you want. And in my case, I will get rid of this and I will ask Elementor AI to create an animation for me and to make it loop. Okay, so I will go none here and I will go into custom CSS, Elementor AI, create a floating animation from left to right. Okay, create. Okay. Now we are a little bit more specific. Make this text float from left to right 50 pixels and vice versa in an infinite loop. Still simple, but more precise. Let's check it out. Okay, perfect. Loading your surprise. And we can insert this and we can also make it more fast. So we change, instead of using 3 seconds, we're going to use 2 seconds or even just 1 second. Yeah, loading your surprise like this. Or even just 0.1 second. Too much. Funny. Okay. I think 0.8 is going to work fine like this. Yeah. Cool, cool, very cool. Let's publish this. It's going to be the first part of our message, of course. And actually, let's say that the loop is not going to be infinite, but now if I want to make this animation repeat just a few times and not infinite, you see here, if I write infinite here, you will see like this. If you write a specific number here, you just have a number of times, and then this animation is going to stop. So if you make a test here, I can publish and go and see a preview. It will do like this 3 times and then it will stop. So you can just keep it easy and simple like this, so that it is not going to move around when you're editing the page. And actually this is going to disappear after 3 seconds. So it's going to work fine even if we just use it for 3 times repeated. Then we're going to add another Flexbox container, actually, which is going to be the container with the actual message, with actual confirmation message. So we can call it confirmation. Okay, and in this confirmation message, we're going to use an image in my case, but of course, feel free to drop inside here whatever you want, some buttons to download, for example, your lead magnet, or some instructions to get involved with your services and products and so on. So just keep the momentum on and engage with your customers here, with your leads. I'm going to edit this image right here, and I'm going to make it 700 pixels centered, and I'm going to change, of course, the content is going to be a little bit different. Maybe let's use this one just to keep coherence with all the design that we have into our main landing page. In my case, I'm going to change the style to be, no, actually it's okay like this. I'm going to change just the advanced tab to use a mask. I'm going to use a specific mask here, which is going to be a custom one. And I'm going to use an SVG file with a transparent background. Okay, you can use any SVG file with a transparent background and it's going to work fine. I'm going to use this one in my case, and very, very easy and simple. I'm going to use now a special layout, a margin negative to the top and to the bottom, so that I'm sure that this is going to work fine without too much spacing. Then I'm going to use a heading to say you're in. I'm going to say you're in. Okay. Let's make this an apostrophe like this, you're in. I'm going to center this to the center. I'm going to change the typography. Here, it doesn't really matter if you use or not an H1 in your page, because this is just going to be an internal page that only your subscribers will see. And it's not going to be, it's not supposed to be indexed by Google. So you should also hide this page, of course. And here, you're in, we can change the typography to something like Rini Beanie. We really love Rini Beanie. Comment Rini Beanie right now if you're watching the video in this specific moment. And if you want, you can also give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up! Thank you. Rini Beanie. Rini Beanie. I think that here I can change also something about typography and make it a little bit less impressive. So the weight here is going to be normal. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger just to be sure that it's going to be impactful in the design point of view, from a design point of view. You're in. Then I'm going to use my social media icons. Okay, social icons, so that the user can follow me on social media and I can grow my audience. Here I can style my icons. Actually, I have already styled them here into the backend. Let me go and do this. No, sorry. Actually, I've just prepared my style here. I will paste it. All right. And it's going to be like this. Beautiful. Of course, make sure here, if you're using this kind of icons, to link them to your actual social media. And let's keep it now like this. We publish and we see how this is going to work in the front end. It's going to be like this, you see? So the result that we want is this one. We're going to see the sentence, and then we're going to see the confetti explosion and the final result like this. You can even add here an animation if you want, but in my case, I will keep it simple. And let's see how you can do that, actually. So we're going to copy and paste the code. You can now head to my free resources. If you have already subscribed, you can go down here. You can scroll, and you will see the confirmation page animation code. You just copy this, and you use it now into your HTML that we have prepared to the top of your page. So this is just a simple HTML widget. We copy and paste the code here, and we need to assign now some specific IDs to our containers. So this is going to be the code one. We're going to call this container code. Okay. Then we have the message and the confirmation, and we just need to add here some IDs. Inside the code, we see that we have, let me check here inside the code, some specific IDs, which are message and confirmation, the same that we are using here into our naming. So we go to the message one, we go to the advanced tab, and we use as a CSS ID message, simple as that. And we do the same now to our CSS class, to our confirmation, sorry. Confirmation, advanced, and we call this ID confirmation. Confirmation. All right. Now to make the process complete, we need to go to the page and add a simple line of CSS, which is going to be in the advanced tab right here. We're going to type confirmation, comma, and message. Okay. And we're going to say display none. All right. Easy as that, you see? Publish. The code is going to be this one. Okay, confirmation, message, display none. All right. If you prefer to copy the code, you're going to find it also below here. So you can use it just by copying and pasting here, but it's going to be very easy. And then you will see that everything is going to disappear like this. You can just publish and have a preview of your page, and it's going to work fine. Look, loading your surprise, and boom, you're in. We just need to make sure now to have a padding to the top, because I just exaggerated a little bit with my negative margin. So I just need to go back here. I'm going to my image. Even if I do not see it, I can go here and remove the padding, or just make it a little bit less aggressive. Let's say 40 pixels top and 40 pixels to the bottom. Okay, let's publish and let's have a preview of our confirmation page right now. Loading your surprise. 3 times it's good, and yeah, you're in. It's working fine, you see? If you want to change the colors of the confetti, you can just go inside the code here, and you just go and check the colors that I used here, which are, let me check, where are the colors exactly? Here they are, constants, and you can find colors, and you can just change the colors here to whatever you want or whatever you're using actually on your page. So if you have some variables or if you have some different color codes, you can change them here. Yes, easy as that. I'm also going to change, if you want to see the stuff that you're editing here without having to guess, you just can go back to the page settings, to the advanced tab, and you simply get rid of this code for the moment, and you go to all the elements. Let's say to this text, for example, we want to make it visible a little bit more animate with a little bit more of an animation. So we go to the custom CSS and we change the number of times. We make 5 so that we are sure that it's going to be always animated. And we can make it a little bit slower. Let's say 1 second. Let's publish and let's have a preview. But before having a preview, we're just going back to the page settings, advanced tab, custom CSS, and we're going to hide all the elements. Publish. All right, let's go back here and see what happens now. Loading your surprise a little bit slower. And boom, like this. Very nice. I really like it. It works fine and it's smooth. And inside here, you can paste whatever you want, your lead magnet or yes, anything you need. Now let's go and connect this page, this confirmation page, with our actual form. So to do that, we just need to copy the URL of this page, which is going to be here to the top. In my case, I do not want to copy the preview part, just the part until the preview, of course. And this is going to be my confirmation page. So I'm going back now to my landing page, which is going to be this one. All right. And inside here, I will just edit my confirmation page. Let's get rid of all the other pages. All right. All right. I'm going inside my opt-in here and into my actions after submit. I make sure to have redirect. And I make sure here to copy my URL into the redirect too. All right, redirect to my confirmation page. Perfect, publish. Let's make our final test. We're going here, okay, we're going to fill the form. We're going to get started. And we're going to be redirected to our thank you page. You're in, beautiful. Now I want to show you how easy it is to change completely the style of this page based on the structure that we assigned it. So if you want to change, for example, the background image, change all the color scheme and also maybe some fonts and some shapes of the buttons and of the border radius in general, let's go and see how this is easy to do and achieve. We're going now and select the background of the first hero section, and we're going to the Style tab, and we're going to change actually the background, and we're going to base ourselves to this new background to select our new color palette, and so on. I'm going to use a new image. You will find many of these resources right inside my free resources page. I think that I will link you to my Drive folder where I drop in some images and stuff that you can use to follow along during the video, of course. And this is my new image. Okay, so now with this new image, everything is going to change. We need some new colors. We need some new, maybe also to change some border radius stuff and so on. And let's go and do that so that we can achieve a completely different design. Okay, let's leave the time now to reload all the elements on the page. Now it looks to be fine. And I'm going to pick the colors now from this new image and using them in my global colors. So I'm going now to the text, for example, and I'm going to change the color that I'm using here to the Style tab. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to select the color picker and I'm going to use the image. All right, I see some beautiful colors here and I can have a preview of each color. So I really, wow, it is pretty cool, you see. Let me check, for example, the first one. This one is very nice, but maybe this one is more readable. Okay, let's go with this one. Okay, now we're going to change the color here that we have in the background here. Oh, sorry, we need to, of course, also assign this new color as a global one. So we can create this as a new global color, or we can simply go and copy this new color and paste it as a global color. So we go here to the custom colors. we're going to change it and make it in place of this one. All right. And we're going to change this new color by going and managing our global colors into the site settings. And we're simply going to use our new sampled color. Actually, we can work from here directly to change all our colors without having to go inside each and every element. That's what global colors are all about. So I'm going to change this color here. All right. It is not the good one. Maybe it's this one. Let me check it out. Yes, it was this one. And as you can see now, it is being applied correctly throughout the whole website. I'm going to change also my light pink here, and I'm going to sample now a new color from my page, which is going to be this one. I think that I will go with this orange color here, and I hope that it will behave well. Okay. Then I'm going to change my strong pink color here. I'm going to sample this as another color. I'm going to use maybe this one. All right. And I'm going to sample also this one, the pink base color. And I'm going to change it with something like, let's say this one. Okay, so now I have all my new color palette in place. All right. And I can save my changes. Actually, I have some, yeah, it is all here. I can save my changes. And I see that here I have a problem with this background because it's been assigned manually. So I need to assign some colors manually inside there. But all the rest of the page, I mean, I hope so. Yeah, some colors you see have been updated. All right, there are some other colors that I need to update by hand in the code. So let's go and do that. I'm going to use actually these colors to make the gradient, which are this one and the other one. So let's go and do that. Save and leave. Okay, now let's dive into the code. We go into the page settings, and don't worry about this. Yeah, this is just an error, and in the front end is not going to show, so it's just a temporary error. And we can go and see that in the advanced tab, we have many different colors that we assigned by hand, so manually basically. And we can actually go and convert them into global colors if you want. It is pretty tricky, but let me show you how to do that by hand, and then I'm going to show you how you can transform all these colors into global colors actually. So the first gradient here into my highlight background of this sentence, I'm going to change it to my new color, which is my green, and it's already looking very nice. And the second color is going to be the one that I'm using here. So this one, the more how do you say, a little bit more dark green. Okay. Let's select this one. Okay. And I'm going to paste it here as a second color. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Beautiful, right? You see that now I have my gradient in place and it's going to work fine. If I want to paste also the gradient here in all the other elements, I need to do it by hand. So basically I need to go inside each and every element and style it. And let me actually check how to change these images now so that we can make the landing page coherent. We're going to use this one. We're going to use this one here too. Okay, perfect. Then we're going to change the background image here too. All right, so let's go to the style tab and let's change here the background image. It's going to be this one. All right, now we need to change the glow effect. You see here that just the glow effect needs to be changed. And we need also to change a few more elements, like for example, the background of this one. And the image here should be changed, of course, it should be a different image. Okay, now I will go to my elements here, to my icons. And now the last thing, we're changing the glow effect here on the buttons. And it's going to be here in the advanced tab. We search for the glow button. Now to change the glow color, since the code is using RGBA colors, I want it to be updated in all at once. So I asked ChatGPT to substitute the color that I'm using here in this code with this new color, which is my green. So let's go and see that. I'm going to copy the code and I am going to substitute it at the keyframes for pulsation. And now when I copy and paste, you see that the color is going to be the new one, the green. And as you can see, we have a totally new design throughout the whole website now, throughout the whole landing page. And it's working very interestingly, you see? And it's going to look completely different. Let me go and check it out here. So I have my first example here with my previous colors and images. And here I have my second example with all the different colors and images. And if I want, I can even go and change the border radius, for example, by putting it to just 5 pixels. And it's gonna look like this, look. You see? So now here we have all squared elements instead of having them rounded. And also here we have square buttons. We have all different colors. All the effects are different. Our cards are now more squared. And our final call to action is this one. Beautiful, right? Look how different it is. Great. Let me know if you managed to create a beautiful landing page for your business or for your clients. I thank you in advance if you want to give me a thumbs up. Remember also to subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content, and give me some feedback in the comments if you want some more tutorials about this kind of topics. My name is Pascal, this is WP Roads, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. I will leave you here one of my latest, and I think that you will enjoy this one because it's a video where I show you how you can create a complete design system using Elementor. Go ahead and check it out. I wish you all the best with your WordPress projects. Ciao, ciao!